So you should be.
All right. Here's bees.
Hi, Twinch.
Okay. You make a new one for Trench.
What are you drinking, Trent? What is that? You don't know?
Is he muted for everyone?
Yeah, I can't hear him.
I have to stay up late somehow. I have to stay up late and I have to stay interesting.
Are you?
I mean,
Can't always
you don't
be
have-
about the white women from Target. So,
But it should be.
The white women from Target were a hit, alright? Was legit a hit.
All right, Trench. Whoa. We lost you? We lost
Oh,
him.
goodbye. We got it momentarily.
We're going to put him in the bottom left. I feel like that's where he belongs. Okay.
Hell yeah.
sorry, one of them came looking for me.
Oh my god.
The
Unsurprising.
the Target
it was only
women?
a matter of time.
Hey, they're outside my apartment right now.
They want a piece.
They had a piece. They just want another one.
That was quick.
Wow.
I am nothing but efficient.
It's we're all about productivity here.
Listen, it's like an assembly line. Just
You're
come
just
through.
pumping
and-
them out real quick.
Mhm.
This is gonna be great.
I feel like we're off to a good start.
Goodness gracious me.
If only you saw what I was doing literally 3 minutes ago.
Okay.
What
well,
were you doing 3 minutes ago?
I would like
Now
to
I'm
know what you were
curious.
doing 3 minutes ago now.
I was dancing up a storm for some reason.
Were you really? I fuck with
I
that.
was having a complete mental breakdown dance party. Yeah, it was great.
Mm,
What?
that's we love
Mhm.
those. You want to hear? You want to hear a fun story?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Eh.
One.
Is it about? Is it
Yes,
about
I would love a
dancing?
free story.
I'm
I
gonna
would love a
fucking
fun
slap
story.
the shit out of Trench one day. I.
One can
So-
only hope.
One can only hope.
Yeah, I
So
deserve it.
true. So I one time was at home and I was having a bad mental health day, as we all do.
Right.
And on this particular day, I was just thinking to myself, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna blast music.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have a time and I'm gonna dance in my underwear and just not give a shit.
Mm.
So I proceed to do this, and I'm just minding my business, having the time of my life. What I don't really remember is that at one side of my house we have a frosted window, but we have a window above that that's not frosted. And I was just having a time dancing, and then I looked over and I made direct eye contact with my elderly neighbor,
How?
and he and I just
Uh-huh.
our souls connected momentarily before I sprinted off and then decided that I was never ever going to
Does-
do that again.
Is chat aware of I can't remember if we talked about this on stream or not. We probably didn't, so maybe I shouldn't bring it up. But your family's sort of policy on that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. I come from a family where they're all just a little bit, they just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They just don't care. And back in the day when I first started streaming, there were many times where I'd have my camera on and I'd be talking to a bunch of people. My dad would just waltz through in the background, just his underwear, just
You
having
said
a time.
Speedo last time,
Yeah, Speedo, underwear, basically the same fucking thing.
right?
And he just would go to the pool and then he'd go for a swim. And I just have to be like, well, I guess this VOD's getting deleted.
Listen, your dad in a banana hammock is solid content.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you could somehow get
Hope
up...
not that solid though.
Oh, wow.
Trench Don't.
Trench, please.
You invited me
Don't.
on. You like
I
you don't
did.
know me.
I
You
did.
don't
No,
know me.
it's very true. I should have known better.
This is your own fault.
Yeah, I've truly brought this upon myself.
You
and
knew
myself
that
only.
not only will I say things, but I'm just terminally racist. So be prepared.
Oh my god. I will say this though about Trench.
Please don't.
I'm going to. I have spent a shitload of time with Trench. Just hanging out with him and watching shit together, and he and I are really, really good buddies. And I have yet to find somebody who is just has as good as stories as he does.
Really?
They are truly exceptional. He has so many good ones, and he's told a few of them on his channel already, I think.
I don't know. I've heard you also say very dismissive things about my stories, but
That was one time. That was one time. You son of a bitch. But he does have very excellent stories, and they are exceptional. And he is just an
exceptional and excellent. All right. Well,
all the X's.
I think that we probably need a story from you. Circa 1998. Where's your best one from that year?
I think that was a very boring time in my life.
How old were you?
Unless you'd like to talk about the first time I role played, because that was probably the first. No, it was probably next year.
I would actually love to hear about
is this like tabletop we're talking about?
No, this would be a very ancient and still in some circles active game known as Ultima Online, and I think you will appreciate this, Orcish.
Okay. Yes.
I have
Absolutely.
never heard of this before in my life.
So there's this very old game called Ultima Online. It is a sandbox. It's the thing we all like, sandbox game, isometric view. You do a whole lot of things in it, and I started playing the game. I remember I saw it was coming out, and it was just very exciting for me. It's like, oh look, you could tame gorillas and alligators. I want to play this game, right? There's a dirty tamer at first, and I played the game for months, a bunch of months, and I was having a good time. I switched to this new server that came out because a new server came out, with the Catskill server, and I got on there and I heard about this group of role players, like these loser role players.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And what they had, and I think you will definitely appreciate this for obvious reasons. They had decided to take over an orc fort, and they took the armor from the NPC orcs, and they dressed up in the NPC orc armor, and they played these orcs, and they were fully RP orcs at this fort, take it over. They're super easy to kill, right? Because they limit themselves.
Yeah.
It's this very difficult environment where not a lot of people were role playing, and this group, they were a pretty large group of people who limited themselves. Like, you can cast magic and shit. Most of these guys are just swinging axe. We're very basic. And I went over there and I was like, fuck these guys. They killed me. Fuck these losers. Right. And then, of course,
so you weren't role playing. You were shitting.
Well, a week later, I was like, these guys are pretty cool, actually. How do I join them? And I first didn't make an orc. I made this other character based but I started role playing with these people, and I wound up joining this guild, and I still have people who come into my stream from this guild. This is now 20 years later, and I've known these people a long time. But yeah, I have role played an orc for a very long time. They have language that's taken from Black speech and a lot of stuff from Warhammer and things like that. I was the war boss for a while. It was it was pretty good. Pretty good.
That's fucking awesome.
They promoted you, huh?
Yeah. But it was all text-based stuff. I earned it. I beat the shit out of people. That's how you become war boss.
That's how orcs earn promotions. That makes sense.
He was getting fat W's and loving his life.
It's getting fat orc W's.
Fat orc W's.
That's the first time I role played, and I still am. I guess I'm in their Discord and all that stuff. I check it every once in a while.
That's awesome.
It's funny too, because like I said, some people come in my chat sometimes randomly that I've kept in touch with, and there's someone I know. Like I ran into in GTA. I was like, the name looks very familiar, and she was in the guild ages ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's not my greatest story, but it is. I guess
for me, that's really cool. I never played Ultima. but I played like the next generation of MMOs, which
Like
would have been
EverQuest
EverQuest
and
was
Lore,
my
yeah.
first love.
Yeah, I played EverQuest and it was very overwhelming. And I remember I died once and I lost experience. I'm like, this sucks. Why am I a fucking hobbit? Why did I pick this? Yeah.
You're a hobbit.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm gonna forget this because my memory is horrible. But
speak.
I have a name for this podcast.
Okay, yeah, because we're kind of just this is actually Kano's name. We haven't been able to come up with one. Yeah, let's hear it.
Now this is Orcish B is fine. But if we're gonna change things up a little bit, and I do like if I like alliteration or maybe like a rhyme, I think the Zug and the Bug is appropriate.
The Zug and the Bug.
Yep. I think that's the
best.
I will
fucking love that. I fucking love the Zug and the Bug. That is fucking excellent. Thank you.
The Zug and the Bug.
That is genius.
How are we feeling about that, everybody? I like it.
I love
Bee's
that.
almost fainted. She liked it so much.
People want to hear my orc voice. I mean, I didn't have to do an orc voice. I didn't have to do an orc voice. It was only text-based.
You didn't have to. Yeah.
I can. Something you doing? You know, I could do that.
Do you want to have a quick orc conversation?
Oh God.
Oh,
yeah, I bet you speak the same dialect that I do.
So, well, no. I mean,
you know.
Yeah, my more Warcraft and your Ultima, which I don't know what
Ultima
is that
was just
based
made
on?
up. It was black.
Just made up.
Yeah, the guild made up like black speech and depending what they yelled. There was like all these different religions in it and shit like that. The craziest was, this is a total tangent, but there was a game called Shadowbane, which is an MMO.
I played that.
It was very PvP based, and these guys were these desert elves, and they made up. I couldn't play with them. I played for a little bit, but they made up this very deep language, and they were speaking basically another language.
Wow.
Guys, I can't. You could like Erie Bolak Durf. I'm like, what the fuck is what I'm saying here? I've lost it.
So just to clarify for people that might be lost with what you're saying, is there was a game called Shadowbane, which is what's the viewpoint?
Super PvP. It was kind of like third person.
Yeah, it was third person.
And it was very PvP based.
Very
like,
PvP.
You join a group and you're taking over it.
They were role playing.
Yeah. These guys were, and this was the thing back then.
They made up their own
these
language.
guys, and they were not role play servers. It was not everyone's role playing. It's like we're role playing with a bunch of fucking PvP. It was brutal at times.
Yeah, no,
because they were like, "Oh, who are you fucking nerds? We're gonna just crush you." And you're like,
"Gonna take all your
glad,
shit."
Like, yeah, we go to clump you real good. You know, it's ridiculous. And they're like, "Fuck you, noob." Yeah,
we gonna clump you.
Yeah.
That is fucking excellent.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, so are we it's great. I like it. Thank you. Likes, thumbs up.
The Zug and the Bug.
So Zug and the Bug.
I'm so on board with the Zug and the Bug.
Zug and the Bug. All
that
right.
is fucking
you
excellent.
can have a little orc and a little bee.
We're gonna I'm so excited for the future of the podcast because we talked today actually, and we have like some really great ideas, and I think we can implement one of them today. In like an hour, I think we've got a special question for you.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna ask this question to every single guest.
Great.
So yeah, but
do you want an actual good story?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell us.
Do you want the story of how I lost my virginity?
Yeah.
I've told this on stream, so I feel fine. I can tell this on my stream.
I think that's fine.
2 years ago. Oh, I am aware. I've told it on. I'm aware of what this is now. I'm a bit into my coffee this evening, but I can tell it. So
is it Irish coffee?
It's not coffee.
What is it? Margarita?
It's not coffee.
Bloody Mary?
And no, like a Blood Mary. Listen, I'm telling a story. Is that the question you're gonna ask? Is this part of the
opening of beer?
Remember when you said, "Is there anything you don't want to talk about?" I don't want to talk about what I'm drinking.
Fair.
Yeah, I'm running a moonshine. I got a moonshine delivery.
Oh my God.
So I was a late bloomer, and I was 21 years old when I lost my virginity, and I've been trying to decide how much of the details I want to get into here, but let's just say she was an older woman of 25.
Okay.
even there was the relationship was started off with a whole bunch of lies on her part. However,
Perfect.
I really wanted to have sex at this point in my life.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's no problem that you lied about all this stuff, and that's fine. But, yeah, let's go have. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
It's going
you get
well.
over that. You get over that after a couple decades. I'm hoping, because that's the problem. So,
It's still a little bitter.
bitter. Okay. Bitter.
Continue.
Fucker, I should thank this woman for the rest of my life. God damn.
Did you meet at Kmart?
So she whatever happened, right? Maybe we were gonna do it, we weren't, but eventually it happened. And I remember it was at her, she had a bunch of roommates. She was at school, and we were at her apartment, in her room, in her bed specifically, if everyone has to know the full details, but she will hear the full details. Because if you don't hear the full details,
You can hear the full details over on my OnlyFans /Trenchmouth.
Yeah, everybody who's up late at 2 o'clock in the morning is underage. Cover your ears. So I will say this without getting overly graphic. When the moment occurs where I technically lose my virginity, people have had sex in the chat. Let me know if you agree with this. but when that happens for the first time, it's like this revelation. Like, it's like, oh, I found my purpose in life. This is what I'm here to do. It's like, this is what I'm here to do. This is why they put me here on this planet. It's like the skies open up and the choirs of angels start singing, oh, hallelujah, right? And it's this ridiculous feeling, like I've been wasting my time with my hand. Like, this is ridiculous. I was not prepared for this, right?
Yes.
So this is going on, and you're losing your mind, and this is going on. And then, what am I doing? So at some point, things are progressing. It's feeling better and better and better and better until I'm like, oh my God, this feels incredible. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, like, whoops, right? So
did you say
I kind of stop moving, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, it's like, what's wrong? I was like, so this is when there's a point when the just overwhelming full body pleasure stops, and very quickly, and the overwhelming full body panic sets in when she goes, why did you stop? And I'm realizing the gravity of the situation here, and I have failed to evacuate the premises in time because very stupid, and no protection was used. Everybody used protection. So I definitely need another sip of my coffee.
Yeah, finish it off.
So I, being quick-witted as I am,
and
very calm in the situation, she said, what's wrong? I said, I think I'm done. She goes, you think you're done? And I said, yeah, I'm done. And she's like, get off me. So I proceed to listen, obey her commands. And now I'm like, oh God, what have I done? What have I done? And I'm like, okay, I can handle this. I know what to do. I've listened to radio shows. I've listened to things. I know what you do after you fuck up like this. So I'm like, okay, look, it's cool. We'll make a doctor's appointment. We go to the doctor. We get you a pill. We get this taken care of. Blah, 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 blah. I'm rambling. And so all of a sudden she starts just crying. Just sobbing and crying. I'm like, oh my God, this is fucking nightmare. Yeah. I have finally had sex with a woman, and now she's reduced to tears afterwards. What have I done? And I can never do this again. Like, what I do? I have sex with somebody and they're crying. So she's crying, and I'm trying to calm her down and talk to her, and it's not working. And she's sobbing and sobbing. Why did I start this story?
I don't know, but I love it.
And I was just sobbing. And I said, it's just, and then eventually I'm like, oh my God, I need to leave. I'm never going to do this again. I hate myself. You know what? The angels can shut the fuck up. I'm never going to do this again. So then she goes, why didn't you pull out? And I said, again, I was full panic. I didn't know what to say. And I'm like, it got stuck. Which now perhaps I am perceiving this wrong. Perhaps the memory, or I was just paranoid. But I swear she did a quick. But she looked up and then she just started laughing and thankfully laughing, and she stopped crying. And it turns out that when somebody takes your virginity for the first time, the first thing they don't want to hear out of your mouth is, "Don't worry, we could go to a doctor." So apparently she wanted to be like, "Oh my god, that was so wonderful. It was better than I imagined."
Oh, right.
Panic. So
She wanted to have that conversation
right.
first.
however, we did go to a doctor and everything was a-okay.
Well, I mean, as long as everything's okay. That's good.
I mean, I don't have a child I don't know about with her. I can't speak to everybody else, but
Or the white woman at Target.
I mean, once I approach the white woman at Target, I know what to do.
You're a seasoned hand at that.
Among other things, yes.
Oh my goodness.
The white women at Target know when Trench is on the premises.
Oh, there's an
Truly.
alert. They get on the PA system. Attention, Target.
Attention, white women.
Trench has entered the white women. Line up or get out.
Tremble.
Take your number.
Tremble in fear at the approach
Goodness
of
gracious
of
me.
this predator. What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Well, we were
Thank you for
talking
bringing
about.
up my stories.
You're welcome.
You volunteered that one.
She said tell a story. I mean, come on.
I mean, I did
That's
because
the
I
first.
love your stories.
That's the first story.
It's a fucking brilliant story. I was
There's
enthralled.
another
I was having the
story,
time of my life. I was
I
on
like
a roller
that.
coaster.
There's another story with that woman that I cannot tell right now.
Well, that's
Oh
probably.
God. That's for the. That's for the after
It's for
hours.
after hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the after hours.
The
Bees
after
heard that
party.
one, yeah.
Oh
I
my
had to go
god.
fit.
Oh my god. No,
I was a very good boyfriend. Let's just say that. I'll tell you later, Orcish.
Okay, yeah. Tell me your secrets.
Sorry. Am I not privy to this conversation? Do I need
You've
to-
heard it.
I feel like I've heard most of your stories, yes, but I love hearing them.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a question. I actually want to. There's something I want to talk about, and Kai's still here, so it's perfect time before she goes to sleep and gets tired of us. You guys have been role playing some Conan lately. How's that been going?
I've been having the fucking best time.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
It
I'll tell you
is
this.
super fucking fun.
I probably haven't played Conan in 2 years, like a year and a half, something like that. And there are a lot of people who are shocked I'm playing Conan because I've been shit talking and saying how much I hate it, and I never want to play it again.
I swore off of Conan like 6 or 8 months ago. I have like 1,200 hours in that game. I've role played in that game a lot.
I was up to 980 hours before this round.
So you know what I'm talking. Like, it's really good and fun, but there's been some things. I think the game is great, but there's been some things with the RP that I've really hated, or that I was really hating, and then the game itself, like, it seems like every roleplay server out there just has way too many fucking mods, and then the server is super unstable. But this server seems different. What are you guys? How has it been? Pretty stable for you guys? Have you guys been having a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
been
really
fucking-
super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trench
We
and
haven't
I-
even gotten to do too much interaction with people yet, but even despite that,
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, I am a big sucker anyway for building in games. I find that stuff really stupid satisfying. And so I was just having a fucking blast, just even, role playing with just Trench and just running around collecting materials and, just fucking around doing that. It's
fun
been
game.
super duper fun. Yeah, it is
and
fucking
I'll
great
say
fun.
too, like having someone come along who hasn't played before, like Kai. I mean, obviously, I will RP with Kai until I die at this point.
Isn't she lovely? Isn't she great?
Happily, right? But it's very fun to see somebody play it for the first time and learn all the mechanics. Like, to me, all the mechanics just seem so fucking old hat.
Right.
And I mean, honestly, the reason I swore off, I was like, I'm not gonna play Conan because the thought of like, I was like, okay, now I gotta make some fucking steel fire again. Like that kills me. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
want to sit here and make fucking steel fire. I hate it. I hate it. I don't want to go get that fucking toxic place and get brimstone or find that other cave and then go back and sit there for ages.
Yeah.
However, it has been very fun and it hasn't bothered me too much. It helps to have people around who you enjoy,
Yeah.
like Kai and B. And then Asai and Pojo have joined us too, and that's been really fun too.
Oh, good. Yeah.
But like B said, running around and just randomly running into people, and God knows what the fuck we're doing RP wise, but it's certainly fun.
Oh yeah, every time we run into people, it's a mixed bag of reactions, which I think is absolutely fucking so much fun.
I think my voice has changed 3 or 4 times the conversation. Yeah,
that's great.
That's one thing I will say about like roleplay in general is that when you are first like, you know, feeling out or fleshing out a character, the amount of times that your voice will change when you're first starting.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're too frightened to talk to people because you don't want to like settle on a voice just in case you don't like it.
I'll tell you. So I started Conan. Oh God, this is the worst. I was telling this story on stream earlier, and I never got to it because of my ADD. But I'd only started streaming. This was the beginning of 2018, and I started with Arc because that was the first thing I played with voice RP, and that was the first thing I streamed was my character Herbie in Arc. That's where he came from. And at some point, I like Dark Side was going on for a few months, and it was all these like known streamers and stuff. And I got recommended to go on there, and it was this first season Darkseid was doing of Conan. And my fucking genius idea for this game I never played before, there were going to be like streamers around and people that I've watched and all this, was I made a character who was like a priest of Jerketto who told people's fortunes by reading the lines in the folds of their genitalia.
What?
Yeah, I was like, well, there's like nudity in this game. I'm gonna do a character. That was my idea. So I had this character called Vuyani, and I had this ridiculous voice, and it was mostly just laughing and making noises. And I would get people to come to this shrine, and I would tell them to take off their clothes, and I would like circle around them and tell them to jump up and down and can't do all this fucked up stuff. And then I would actually give them like some RP stuff to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it was even the voice was so
yeah, you gotta give us a little sample.
No, okay, I don't know what I look like when I do this. I apologize because it's very intense. I would say I would talk about finding like help you finding their path. I would go I will help you find your path by reading the lines and the folds of your genitalia. Nice. It was a lot of this, but they're basically Cookie Monster.
Yeah,
the wrong type of cookie. Yeah,
but a different type of cookie.
That's truly magnificent. Now that you've said that it's the Cookie Monster, I can't unhear it. And I hate that.
Or Dikembe Mutombo for any older NBA fans. No.
I don't know if there's any older NBA fans in here, but maybe.
I doubt it. This might not be the forum for old basketball fans.
Sports ball.
However, I'll say this because I meant to say this when I because B was saying as far as figuring out a voice. So after that happened, then the server Hyborian was started up by Steel Rain, who he's the way I actually started getting into voice RP, and I played on there. I got a message, hey, do you think you could play a woman? I was like, okay. That was like an hour before we started. And then, so the third season of that, I had this idea for this group of barbarian, like basically somebody would play a guy who says, hey, I speak to Crom. Crom talks to me. I'm the only person Crom talks to, right? Because Crom doesn't give a shit about anybody. The god Crom in Conan.
Yeah.
And there was this guy who was a shyster, and he was this tiny little weak-looking man who said, the strongest god in the world who respects strength. He only speaks to me. And that was played by KG, who's one of my best friends. And so a bunch of us played these barbarians. And I literally spent a week doing different voices every day before I settled on my voice. I went from a guy who talked like he was from New York to this, that, and the other thing. And then eventually I settled on some raspy, like half a British thing. But yeah, it's tough to come up with the voice sometimes.
It is.
I obsess
Fucking
over
is.
it.
I have.
Same.
I just have like at this point I've role played enough characters that I feel like I don't really make up new ones often enough.
Venusario.
What?
Yeah, I've had times when I felt creatively bankrupt when I'm doing the same characters, in a different game that I've done in other games before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 19 iterations of Herbie.
19 iterations of Herbie. But Herbie is fucking excellent though. As a character. He's one of my favorite people to roleplay with. And it's just, you have like this little Rolodex of just comebacks, which honestly destroys me every time I hear Herbie roast anybody. It is truly astounding.
Someone asked me to do stand-up comedy on Herbie in game the other day, so that's gonna be.
Are you actually gonna do that?
I was like, can I just yell at people? They said, yeah, that works.
Oh my god.
Perfect.
I just want it to be Herbie just pointing at random people in the audience and just roasting the shit out of them.
I have no material, so that's all it's gonna be.
You just tell a story of how Herbie lost his virginity. I don't know.
I don't think I should even broach that subject.
Oh God, is there an actual story there?
No, but if I actually think about how it would be, yeah, if I was being accurate to my character, yeah, I probably shouldn't broach that.
I'm sorry that I broke TOS. I was being true to my character.
Yeah.
I think that we just fucking to get into a weird touchy subject just because I find this very interesting. I have never personally
She can't even say it.
I have never personally experienced like being in a place where ERP
Oh yeah.
is like commonplace or happens or have like walked in on it. But I have heard like horror stories about it.
Yeah.
Like I know that a friend of mine went into weirdly enough a Conan server and was like, yeah, I'm gonna try RP, and they just went into a random server and immediately was greeted by some very intense
The Sexiles mod, where they download the Conan Sexiles.
There's mods dedicated to that, and there's servers dedicated to that. So he probably joined, or they probably joined the wrong server.
I didn't mean to.
Yeah,
took my pants off.
I totally didn't mean to join the sexy exile server.
Can I guess how this conversation went? Oh my God, B, this crazy thing happened. It was so weird and gross. Do you want to come on there with me next time?
Oh my fucking God.
Is that how that conversation? You should come on and see how crazy it is with me.
It's so weird, Bees.
Yeah.
You love, we'll have a good laugh.
Oh my God.
We can just, to keep each other safe from all these weirdos, we can just role play that we're married, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's safe then. No one will. None of the other weirdos will come on and say anything gross.
No,
we better be true to
fine.
we better be true to our character.
Yeah, we have to be. And this
We have to
is
stay
our
in
wedding
character.
bed. So
Tonight's the night that we consummate the marriage. Oh my fucking God.
Is that what
Absolutely
happened?
Not. Fuck if I know.
Okay.
All I know is that there's the typical fade to black.
Kai's
That's
found
all
that
I know.
server. Kai's searching sexy exile server.
Oh my God, Kai, no.
She probably types like this too.
They got their own they have like custom animations and things like that. It's
They do.
not that I've ever looked.
Okay, so I've played on servers that use, there's this mod that like has a ton of emotes for it, but there's also a section of the emotes that are very inappropriate. And I've played on servers that has that mod, but it's on like a TOS like a Twitch TOS safe server, but it still has that mod in it.
That seems dangerous.
It is dangerous.
I don't have the self-control.
Well, I mean, people would use the emotes in like a joking way, but I also was on staff for one of these servers, and I'm not gonna name which one, but I know for a fact that staff, like admins, can see all the emotes globally. They can see them all. And for some reason, people, I guess they either didn't care about that or they didn't know. But they saw some.
Or maybe they just, it was the
spicy
excitement of
shit.
knowing that people know.
Like somebody's
Yeah, I
watching.
personally want people to
Somebody's
see my
watching.
emotes.
Yeah.
They're like, I know that one of these moderators is watching me right now.
Sometimes I just emote wild things on this server. Just hopefully someone can see it. Just sitting out there in tall trees by myself, / meing very weird things.
Very weird things while hunting bears.
You think these trees are
There
tall?
are legitimate moments though where I'll be doing like /me, and if I'm doing like medical role play,
Yeah.
I will literally like /me, and I'll be like, taking somebody's like shirt off to like try and get to like injuries, or like taking off pants, and I'll be like, I really fucking hope that nobody like will see this with no context. With no context, and and somebody will yell at me. I'm terrified. That is a legit fear that I have.
Yeah.
That somebody's going to see one of those out of context and be like,
yeah,
Bee's doing the thing. She's doing the fade to black, except there's no fade to black. I'm like, no, I'm trying to help this man. Please, no, leave me alone. I just wanna do my mid upkeep, man.
Never free cam to me, please. No, I only stream so it keeps me in character. That's the secret.
True. That's actually isn't that a thing for some people? Like they refuse to show their face cam when they're role playing because they feel like it breaks immersion and stuff.
Some people are like that. Yeah.
I meant don't have the admins come watch me while he means you can because the admins.
Oh.
Yeah, don't watch me off. But yeah, some people don't do face cams while they're.
Yeah, I've definitely heard that before where they're like, I don't have face. I usually try to keep it off, but it doesn't really bother me. Like when people see me do voices and stuff. I think that's part of it. Is people like I make a strange face when I do my voice. But the other part of it is, yeah, it's immersion breaking for some people.
Yeah, I think I definitely know that with a couple of my characters, I definitely do very strange faces because you have to like, I have to like contort my body to do like Nora's voice.
Let's
because
see
it's
it.
so.
No. Come on, give us a piece.
I don't want people to see it. No, let's see it.
Look, I'm trying to push her past her comfort zone. It's good for
my
her.
comfort zone is so well and truly busted. It was gone a while ago.
Like,
no, but
just a little, just like one sentence.
I don't even know. I have to like. Okay.
Work into it. Do you want to set a scene? Do you want to set a scene?
Yeah, set a scene.
So Nora's the old. She's the old woman,
bitch.
Right?
Yeah, she's the old bitch.
The old bitch.
Horny dead bitch. Yeah.
Okay, so me and Trench are 22-year-old strapping lads, and our shirts are off after a hard day of chopping wood, and we come into the bar and you're there. And we're just dying of thirst, and you're working the bar.
We are lumberjacked.
Yeah, exactly. Our pecs.
Oh my fucking god! I can't fucking believe it. These boys are so fucking beautiful. Oh my god! If you need a tall glass of water, I can definitely provide that for you. Maybe a little bit stale, but yeah, definitely. If you want to come by sometime.
You're so in character. You look like you're dying, and I feel like your character is probably really old too.
I think you look great.
I definitely feel the entirety of just all the fat my body just accumulating to get that double.
It's just like this, yeah. Hello.
I think you look great.
Hello.
I'm gonna roll up my breasts. They're gonna unfold.
I gotta roll them up like bandages to put them back.
There you go.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That's what I remember.
Kai doesn't show her face when she's role playing either. She's just saying.
I mean, yeah, it's scary. I mean,
more pressure.
Yeah,
wants to see a face while somebody's trying to. If you're trying to be in character, I don't think it. Like you can't have your face there. You're right. It's very immersion breaking.
Yeah,
if you want to actually people be into it.
I mean, I've had my face cam on while I'm streaming roleplay, which never happens anymore. But when I do, it's usually like when there's nothing happening. and
Yeah, or
I'll
you're
just be
having
like
silly
sitting
times
somewhere.
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll just be like sitting somewhere, and I'll be like, "Hi guys, it's me, hello." That time.
I
That.
need more beverage.
So, more coffee? Yeah, definitely.
I'm pouring coffee right from by my desk into my cup.
He has a
Wow.
coffee maker in this on this little stand.
Yeah, I have a little French
Cold
press
brew?
here. It's
Is it
French
filter
pressing it.
coffee? Oh.
I don't drink coffee. I hate coffee.
Tasara's the only one you see,
Also-
really? Does Tasara stream with Cam?
Tasara doesn't leave it on when she's doing
No,
like
I don't think so.
serious
I
shit,
think
though.
she did
No.
today because
She
it
does
was something
sometimes.
special. Like she was doing a, what did she
Yeah,
call
she
it?
was doing a bragathon?
Smugathon?
Smagathon. Yeah.
Because she
Smagathon.
got her check mark.
Yeah, she got partnered. So she was like
That
super
was
excited
very
about it.
exciting.
It was very exciting. I was very happy for her.
I know it's good for Tasara, but personally for me, it's also very exciting.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just love her. She's like one of.
She's really funny.
Yeah, I just have such a good time RPing with her, and she's been grinding at this for like 7 years. And also, as far as Kai and I have talked about this like once, like her numbers, she's been just building on her own. Obviously, many of us, myself included, have benefited, but from big people like Vert's coming in. But Tasara has been like building and building and building and building, and she's been just grinding away. And she's like be here, just like an OG wild person. So to see somebody like that, like for her to get partnered, who's just been here the whole time, is really cool.
What's funny is I actually DM'd her because I recently applied for the first time, and I DM'd her and I was like, hey.
Good.
I was like, hey, some righty told me that you like have applied a couple times, and like, do you have any advice or like what's going on? And she was like, listen here, I've been trying at this for 6 years.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know what they want. And then like 3 days later, she got partnered. So it was great. Good for her. I'm really happy
I know
for
she had
her.
applied like the last every month for like the last 3 months, and the last couple times before this, if I could just talk about her personally, but she got denied like within 2 days. So then this time she was like, I haven't heard back in a week. I was like, okay, that's a good sign. Just keep streaming and see the big numbers. But the thing is, as far as what you're doing, from what I've heard, and I've asked a lot of questions about this, getting denied they don't hold it against you. I know people that have been denied 13, 14 times, and then they got accepted. What's his Anthony Kong fan like got denied like 15, 16, 17 times.
Really?
Before he got his.
That's so funny. Back then it was a lot different, but
yeah, it's a lot different, but still, it doesn't mean anything, and you just might as well do it. Like I when I did it, right, I got the thing. It was whatever the time limit was to get it, like, because my numbers were stupid. It like ticked off, and I was like, it might have even been before kind of like, maybe I should wait. I don't know.
Right.
This is weird. And I waited, and then I'm like, why the fuck am I waiting? This is stupid. Like, what if my numbers drops? But they didn't.
Yeah.
So I got lucky.
Just apply, and then if
to
you
go to shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you don't get it, then you can always apply again. I think once you get your achievement, I think that's it. You can apply as many times as you want after that.
I don't know. I think
Is
you have
that
to have
true?
the numbers again for the next month. It's like that
really?
30-day period. Yeah, I think so. I mean, even if you don't have the numbers, you're not gonna get accepted either way. So
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's been about 8 or 9 days for me. I haven't heard back yet. So we'll
That's
see what
a good
happens.
sign, I'd say. I was about that. I know Kai was like a little over 2 weeks. Pandas was that too.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Pandas was too. I'm really happy for him as well. I'm happy for everyone that gets it. Honestly, I am so happy for everyone on this server. Like, this server deserves attention. The game deserves attention. The role play deserves. It's so good. It's like, and I don't want to poop on anyone else's RP, but I feel like it's way better than GTA. That's just me. I don't know if other people agree or disagree. Like,
No, I would agree with you.
I've done a lot of GTA.
You've done a lot of GTA? I haven't really. So maybe I'm not the one that should speak on that, but.
Oh, well, in that case, I definitely shouldn't speak on that because
You speak on it. You play GTA. You had your experience.
I did. I feel like my experience, though, was very, very different in terms of, I think, just the people that I was with, or at least some of the people that I was with, just made it a not fun experience for me. There were a couple of moments where I did have a really nice time, but for me, I much prefer the pacing of Wild. Because it's all slow burn, which I really, really like. Whereas I felt like in GTA, I needed to be everywhere all at once at the same time. And I felt like
Mhm.
I was constantly doing things and it was very stressful. Um, and I like the fact that, like, with Wild, everything takes time. And I've
Yes.
grown quite used to it now. So now when I jump into other RP servers, I'm always like, I'm looking for that pacing. And when it's like quite fast paced and like really, really quick, it's very strange. Like something that I know wouldn't really sound that bizarre, but because I'm so used to the fucking Telegram system, when I played GTA and you can like instantly call somebody up and be like, "Where the fuck are you? Where do you want to
Yeah.
hang out?" I was like, "Oh, like I could literally go anywhere and do
Yeah.
anything." And I was like, in a way, that's great. But at the same time, I feel like it's very, very weirdly limiting because, with Wild, you send a telegram, you wait fucking ever, you go out and you do some shit, you maybe run into some more people, and then you eventually check a telegram, respond, and then fuck off and do whatever you need to do,
Yeah.
you know?
I feel like it
And
forces organic RP more, for sure.
yeah, it definitely does. And, it's a super fucking awesome, fun place to be. Because I don't know, how long have you been there now, Trench? A long time, right?
Where on Wild?
Wild.
It's been over a year, but I'd say since I've been playing a lot since December
Yeah,
last
yeah.
year. Yes, it's almost a year since I really started playing a lot.
Jesus. Has it really almost been a year?
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy. I keep forgetting that the server has been around for like a year and a half.
It's
And
getting
then,
there. It will be in December probably, right?
Wait,
December, January. At the end of this
yeah,
year, but year because it's like June it went up of last year.
June. Yeah, June.
It's crazy.
It is fucking crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. And you think about like, and I've said this a couple of times, I think, but you think about when it first started and it was really, really small and how fucking massive it is now. It is completely insane to think about all the crazy shit and the amount of people in love and, care that it's getting, which I think is so fucking deserved because I know that there are people who care so deeply about the server and the roleplay itself within, like just the staff and stuff care so fucking deeply about it, and they want it to be a good place.
We've been in the Red Dead Redemption 2 category this whole time. Just so you guys know.
That's fine.
We have
Hell
to,
yeah, dude.
and we pull out our 6-shooters now.
I've seen a couple people who put Wild RP in their title just so they show up in the Has route.
Ooh.
I've seen a few guys do that.
Wait, like while they're playing a different game?
They're playing Red Dead Online.
Oh. I talked to Kano about it, and like since we talk about Wild RP a lot, he said he was okay with us putting that in the title, but I didn't.
Yeah. That's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Kai, you said it took you over a month to get a response.
Jesus.
I don't know if she's still there. She said that.
God damn.
What, being partner?
Yeah, that's what she. I don't know.
I
She said
remember
it took her over a month,
but she would know better than I do.
Yeah, she said yes. Okay,
Fucking
well,
hell.
I mean, I'm at the point now where I'm like, did I give him the wrong email? What?
No, it'll take a while.
Going on.
It just sucks to wait, but if you don't hear anything, it's good. Just keep streaming. You'll do it.
Well, I mean, yeah, I hope so, but my numbers are all over the place. I think it's been a tumultuous time. Like sometimes
I tell you something.
Yeah, let me hear it.
Sorry. So when I was when I had applied, I don't know if I applied or this was right before I applied, but my numbers were like, it was if you saw the chart, it literally looks like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
So it's like 400, like 200, 300. Then one day it was 42.
Yeah.
I was like a real aberration. I was like, what the fuck is this? And it was, up and down and up and down. But
they were like, all right, cool. You're in.
I got lucky. It was before everyone found out how good everyone else was on the server. So
you got in at the perfect time. See, I think I missed it. People are realizing that there are a bunch of streamers that are awesome on the server. But like for me, it's not like 400. Okay, like I'll have like
No, I'm not doing 400 anymore anyway. Until I start murdering people with Oglethorpe, then I might be able to get up to like 250.
yeah. That's the thing too. Is it's I.
You okay, B?
Dad?
She's not happy if that happens. Just make sure nothing happens to you, and it'll be fine.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
No pressure.
Do you guys remember the scene we had after the three of it was the scene between the three of us when Georgie turned herself into me, to McGregor?
Yeah.
That was a fucking great scene, guys.
I basically was like, okay, just shut up and stand here. I didn't have much to do, but it was good. So I appreciate that.
So the thing is,
you were playing an important part too. Like
yeah, no, I mean that's part of the thing too. If we're good to talk about role play, is that like I recognize when that scene happened, it's like, okay, Georgie is doing it here, and then you are reporting, so you get to come in on this and do that. And it's like I have to remember, and it's very difficult for me not to. It's very difficult for me to shut up in general, clearly, but just to recognize, like, okay, like step back for a second and just let these two go, like let her go and let you go, and that. So no, it was awesome. I was like just happy to be there.
That's a beautiful thing that you mentioned, because I feel like everyone in RP, like we're literally playing a game with people who we love to play games with, and we're doing a thing that we love. It's hard to stop talking I think for a lot of people in those situations, and just let other people's role play kind of have room to breathe. I actually notice Verts lets me and Kai do that sometimes too, even though like he lets McGregor and Riggs have a moment to talk. And I know that's not Baz like being like, I'm gonna let this guy talk up my
It's
wife.
definitely not. Yeah.
It's Verts being like, I want to let them have some role play. And I think that's a beautiful thing to do. And it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah. I think, it was one of those things where, especially for newer people to roleplay like myself, that was something that
I think you're
had
new
to
anymore,
learn.
but
I still feel, in comparison to so many people, very fucking new to roleplay, which I know is ridiculous because I've been doing it for a year and a half now. But to me, I still feel like a baby, because I look at other people who have been doing roleplay for so fucking long, and I'm just like, because I just want to be as good as the people around me. And, I know that with me, I definitely needed to realize in the beginning that although you may be really excited to be around certain people or like your friends and stuff, there's definitely a time and a place for you to be talking. Where it's like, if you're not going to be majorly contributing to the scene, or there's already something going on between two other characters, there's a time when you need to realize that there's a time for you to talk and there's a time for you to just be quiet. And that was one that took me a really long time to realize. And, but it's something that people just aren't aware of because they just want to be involved. And it's not, out of malice or, people just, injecting themselves into it. It's just people being excited because they just want to be a part of whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to go back to the senior guys that you brought up, Orcish, is that like I had to be aware. I was like, okay, I'm going over there, and Oglethorpe is an important character to Georgie and all the stuff that's going on. So, but like the main role is to be there. He's going to be there for her, and like even if I didn't know this, like I mean, clearly at this point I know that it seemed like this just get out of B's way when she's doing this,
right?
Like to do your whole thing, right? And then your response and all that. So it was really it's hard to recognize that when you don't know first. It's like, okay, like I'm here, I have to do something, like I've been quiet for too long, like that always creeps me. You haven't said anything for a while, you should probably say something right now, that sort of thing.
I felt that before for sure.
Yeah.
Where
it's hard.
Yeah.
I can still hear you, but I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Does he have a basement right there? It's crazy.
I mean, it might. Obviously, he's going down to his wine cellar.
He's going, yeah. No, not
He's
a
gonna
wine.
go get more coffee.
Coffee cellar.
Yeah, he's going down to his coffee cellar.
Uh,
No, I will ask you this, because I think that this is always a very interesting question to ask. For people who are just getting into RP, because I know that when I first started, I didn't really know what I was doing. And I think about it now, if I applied to get into WoW now, I definitely would not, because I have, like, WoW's the only place I fucking learn how to RP. But for people who are new and just stepping into the community, what is like the most critical piece of advice that you would give them?
For trying to join Wild and they've never
Just
roleplayed
for
before?
RP in general.
Or just RP in general? From my point of view, when you're role-playing, roleplay is not about the game. The game is just a platform for you to express a story. And that's something, I mean, that's very basic. And it's something that, because most people that get into roleplay aren't like you, where you come from a background of acting. Most people that get into roleplay are gamers that come from a background of getting triple kills. So they, you know, or dying 3 times in a row. If
I get my KDR over 1, I'm thrilled.
We should play Overwatch sometime. You make me look good.
Hell yeah, no. Listen, give me. I can't remember his name. The big guy with the hammer. I'm doing pretty well.
Reinhardt's a lot of fun. He's a lot of fun. I love swinging that big fucking hammer. Anyways, we're off top. But what I was saying is, like, my advice to gamers is understand that this is a game second and it's a story first. But the one thing that I learned before I jumped in, and I learned this from, you know, Vanalis. I don't know, you may have heard of him.
Yeah, I know Vanalis.
One thing that I learned from watching his streams was about the win mentality. And, like, it's kind of along the same lines as people play video games to win. But you should role play not to win, but to create story. And the better story almost always is going to be on the losing person's side. It's like you win and it's like, yeah, we won. That's it. We won. It's over. But for the losers, it's like, we lost. Someone died. I got shot. I got injured. What's next? How do we do better next time? Like, there's story there. Losers
I
are winners.
100% agree. Yeah, dude.
What about you, Trench?
Like,
oh, sorry.
It's hard to. It's true, and you're right. It's in the moment. It's very hard to hold on to that. Like, honestly, like the amount of times when you're like, it's a challenge when you're in the situation. For me, at least, where like I'm cool with losing. It's like it's about getting the expectations out of your head. Like, because it's very easy. We all get very attached to our characters, and you have these idea of what you want to happen to them, and that's what makes it very difficult. Is when you're like, okay, we're gonna get in this conflict, and then afterwards, like after I beat them, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do that, and then it comes to get shot. And you're like, well, like that's when you have bad feelings. Like, oh, what the fuck? I didn't want this to happen. What was he doing? Why was he shooting me over here? Did he say enough? I don't think he said enough. He should have initiated. And you get all these bad thoughts like that. It's always gonna be the winning. Like, I want to win. Is always going to be there in people's heads. It's in my head sometimes too, because it's like, well, I want the story to go this way. But when it happens, I think it's just being able to take a breath and accept that, okay, just because I lost doesn't mean everything's the end of the world. I can still get something from this. Like you said, it's a more interesting story. It's a lot easier to, I mean, I haven't had this experience while streaming so much, but I've seen it. It's a lot easier to lose when you don't have a chat that's like, what the fuck, that was bullshit, you know, pumping you up. And like, hey, that was bullshit, you should have, you know, that sort of thing. So some people handle that very well. I've seen, like, a lot, especially the bigger streamers that are on here now, like they're used to that stuff. But it is very important to try to care as little as possible if you lose. Now, there is a point where you're like, okay, this is some bullshit. Like, to be completely honest, sometimes like, this is bullshit and they should have shot me right then. And I got to consider what I'm going to do here. But even if that happens, like just running with it and,
Yeah.
and going and using it and taking it to stories is the best way to handle it. You're right.
Yeah. It's like to touch on the subject, because I don't know. To touch on the subject of Twitch chats with RP, there are definitely times where I've like gone into, talk with people really briefly or say hi, where I do feel as though Twitch chats in general can be very fucking scary places, because I think some people, especially who might be like newer to, or like viewers who may be newer to the RP community, will like viscerally like hate a character, but it transcends beyond the character and they end up hating the person who plays the character. And I've seen that happen a couple of times. And that's where I get like, for me personally, like I'm a very nervous streamer in general. And I'm always very nervous about those kinds of things, or, people not realizing that roleplay is roleplay. And it's not me. Georgie may have my voice, but I'm not Georgie, and Georgie's not me, Like it's one
Thank
of those
God.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, thank
Oh,
God.
I mean, she's miserable. There's so much shit happened to her. I'm glad she's not here.
That's
Well,
true.
that
She
and
is
she
a
would've
miserable
probably
sack of
punched-
shit.
She would have probably punched both of us at
Yes.
some point during
That's the other thing.
this
Thank God I didn't
podcast.
punch her.
Oh yeah. Let's yeah, definitely. But, it's
Flag to
like
protect me.
it's true. Georgie would absolutely slaughter half the crossing if somebody fucked up or killed Oglethorpe. It should be a mess. Absolute fucking mess.
Something to aim for.
Don't.
No,
Are
I don't want
we-
to.
Hold on, I gotta
Can
find
I
the
say this?
page.
Because
say
I saw someone mention this hunt. So I want to call out somebody who I just fucking think is one of the best, and I like was in awe of something he did earlier in the year. But just personally, for things I've seen, is that someone who really goes out of his way to make sure that as a criminal he can get caught and to do this sort of stuff and leaves details and things like that is Graham. Graham the Gibbon. And Graham, like there was a time when I was running around on one of my criminal characters with him, and we saw some law and they chased us. We ran to Saint Denis. We ran to Saint Denis,
Wrong.
and we went to get. He like was RPing like we got to go get the horse from the stable. So we went to the stable and he like was like, oh, we should leave some money. So I was like, slash me, give some money. And but he was doing it because he was leaving details all over it. Like we saw the law, but he's leaving clues all over Saint Denis so they know that we were there because he wants to do that. And Graham he just always had good intentions in his mind with crimes and things like that. I haven't seen too much of him as his law character yet, but he's just so enjoyable and just such
He's good.
a wonderful RPer. I think very giving.
He is also, and I will say this, one of the fucking funniest people I know, and so quotable. The amount of times where I've literally like hung out with like Graham and Box and Nia and a couple of other people, and they're all just quoting shit that Graham says because he's just
very, very funny.
So funny, and so just one of those people where I think he knows he's funny, but his funniest moments are when he's just being completely himself.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking good. He just is a wonderful, wonderful role player. I totally agree.
Yeah,
he
had a character called David that was maybe one of the best like long-term stories that I've ever seen in years of RPing. It was just really great. Like he's somebody who built up and earned to becoming. He was this fucking wimp, like 19-year-old wimp, and building up to being this horrible fucking menace, like awful person who got executed in the end. And it was just really like incredible.
Nice. It's really hard to
Like
let go of
heartbreaking,
characters like
really.
that.
Yeah, he was like at the time he was one of the biggest criminals in the server, if not the biggest at that point.
That's tough. That's like not even speaking from like a streamer standpoint where you're like, if I let go this golden goose, but just like from a role player standpoint where you're like, this character I poured so much effort and time into, it's really hard to let go, even when the time is so perfect to do so. I feel like I should have perma'd Otis a couple months ago when he got shot, and I didn't.
Well,
and I
okay,
kinda
let's get
regret
into
that.
let's get into perming for a minute if we can do that.
Sure,
Because
yeah.
I have some very specific thoughts on this. Where is it like when people do that and they perm a character, it's incredible and it gives a ton of RP. At the same time, I don't think anybody should feel pressure to do it.
Yeah.
Nope.
I think you have to really make the decision and realize like I am never gonna play this character again on this server. Like if I love playing this character, like I don't think I could perm a number of my like Herbie or Oglethorpe or anything like that. Because I know like 6 months from now, I might be like, well, I want to go around and say dumb shit about animals. I've thought of some new things to do. But that being said, if you have a whole story and somebody comes and takes you out or fucks you up or something like that, you do have a responsibility to play out consequences that are equal to the gravity of the situation, and that you got to be giving to the person. So if they, you have this whole long story and some guys get you and they mess you up, you got to, even if you want to throw them in a coma, you got to walk around being weak for a while, things like that. You got to show some effect from it and not just shrug it off and go do something. If you want the story to have weight, and it's just respectful to the other person too.
I agree with you so much. And I feel like that's something that people need to realize, and because I don't think everybody does that. I don't want to be negative or anything, but I've literally seen that happen. So, and it's unfortunate too, because and it's part of that no win mentality. Like they're just like, oh well, and it's also just like, well, I want to play my character. Like it's my character. I should just be able to go out and fucking do whatever I want and have fun. But
I think if you do that, then you should never expect anyone else to do you the favor.
Right.
Otherwise,
and when
there's
you
no reason to do that to somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you take the guy and throw him off a cliff, don't expect him to be hurt.
Yeah.
The next day.
But if you were hurt, I'm a very petty person. So if you don't give me the courtesy, I probably just had my own sense of RP and stuff. But at some point, you can't expect other people to do that if you're not doing it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's give and take. You need to put out as much as you.
Yes, you do, Beast.
Yes.
Let me let me go to something that I've talked about on chat before, which is the forced perma. A lot of people are really against it, but I think that in certain situations, very specific situations, I think it's appropriate for the state or the law or the marshals or whatever to be like, all right, the very high profile criminals, you're done. We're giving you the rope. Thoughts?
Interesting. In what circumstances?
I think if you do that, you have to make it clear beforehand that if you get to this point, we have the we can make you kill your character. So that way they can like, okay, I'm going to stop now. Like you can't just spring it on somebody afterwards.
No. It would be like what my vision of this would be like a system where like you cross the line and you get like a forced 3 days in Siska, and then you do it again and you get a forced week, and you do it again and you get a month, and then it's if you do it again you get a perma, or maybe you get life, something like that. Like I feel like the time given as someone who's played majority of law and civilian, I haven't really played a lot of my crim, but I feel like the time that people spend in jail for some of these crimes doesn't really make sense to me. And I also feel like what really doesn't make sense is when it's consistent, like they're robbing a bank and then they get caught, and then they're robbing a bank and then they get caught, and then they murder someone and then they get caught, and then they murder 3 people and then they get caught, and they just keep on going, and there's no, I don't know, it feels like civilians can walk up to me and be like, why isn't this guy in prison? And I'm like, I served his time, I guess, yesterday.
I think that a lot of that as well is it's also about exactly, for me, crim stuff is something that I have done I don't have a lot of background in it though. Like most of the crims that I've made have just been gremlin crims, who basically just go around doing bizarre shit
Criminals.
and Kremlins. That's right, they're Kremlins. But I think it's a courtesy thing as well when it comes to, crime arcs where it's like, me personally, I definitely feel as though there should be a cooldown period after things happen, where it's like if you go out, like you said, if you go out, rob a bank, and then get arrested and then immediately get out and then go and do the same thing again. I think that that's a little, to me, a little unrealistic. And on top of that, I think it can steer ever so slightly in the direction of power gaming. Just because you're basically going, the system doesn't necessarily affect me. Like, I can just go and do the same thing again. I think that everything needs to be balanced in terms of what you're doing. Like, if you go out and do XYZ, you also need to spend a period of time doing basically the opposite of that, just having time to like relax or potentially get caught, or I think it, like most things in RP, it's give and take, right? Like you need to have a period of time where your character can potentially be caught, or just have some time to just really put some things to the side for a while and allow other things to develop. But that's my personal opinion. When it comes to forced perma though, I think that for me, like it would have to be pretty damn bad for
Yeah.
them to be in that position. Where like I'm talking like, for example, my criminal character Andy blew up an inn and killed like 5 people, and injured like 14. This was a
I
legit
heard
thing.
about
was
that
like
in
20
character.
20
I heard about
something
this in
people.
character.
There was
Yeah.
like almost like 30 people crawled out of that inn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a legit thing that happened.
How many players?
A
That was
fuckload.
it. Players, yeah.
Those were all players,
Players.
not NPCs?
Yeah.
Well, so
No.
yeah, so they
Jeez.
blew it up, and then the next day, it was like people deciding I'm gonna log in and I was in the inn that night.
Oh, like sleeping?
Well, that's what people log out though, but that's their
Yeah.
own choice. You're gonna blow up the
Yeah.
inn. That's appropriate
I
consequences.
was in
yeah.
there. Yeah.
Mhm.
I was
Mhm.
sleeping in that
I
inn.
also made a very, very silly choice and put Georgie in the inn because there were a bunch of people who
You blew up your
Guilt.
own-
The
no,
guilt. That was a
it
guilt
was so
move.
it was
Yeah.
guilt because
was
there were
full
so
guilt.
many people who like fell asleep in the inn and were waking up in there, and I was like, oh fuck, I completely forgot that I logged out on Georgie in there. So does that mean that I have to do that? So I was like, okay. So I did that. It was so silly. But in that case, I really wanted my character Andy to come to justice for that, because I was like, that's a fuckload of people. I destroyed a building, and I injured many and killed quite a few. And in that case, I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, like that makes sense. And for me, I wanted her to get that perma. Unfortunately, there were some things that kind of prevented that, and it was really, really delayed, and I ended up doing it way down the line when it was kind of forgotten about. That's another story entirely. But in that case, I can kind of see why that would be an option. But again, I think it's just one of those things where it's like you can't like it's up to the person to recognize when enough is enough and when too much is too much. And also not being afraid of permaing for other people or to increase storyline for others.
Yeah.
Like for example, Sammy, who I loved, and was such a joy and so much fun for me to play because she was just a complete fucking gremlin who went around and telling everybody that she loved them and, was a little fucking psychopath and nymphomaniac.
And
Completely insane.
people for some reason thought she was a child.
Some people thought she was a child. It was because she was adopted by Slim/Riley.
Right.
And everybody was like, this little girl. It's like, no, Sammy was constantly talking about how fat her ass was. And, it's just like, she was a grown ass woman, y'all. But, mated. But even though I totally loved Sammy and she was such a treasure and a wonderful character and I still miss her, but I feel really fucking good about permaing her when I did because it pushed so much story for so many people. And I remember messaging Trench because I was like, I expected maybe like a couple of people to be affected by it, which was going to be like Gavin Summers because Sammy and Gavin had become like quite good friends along with Speedy and Cyrus. And she was going in there and like trying to, create, friendships, which would hopefully be some way where they can create peace maybe down the line, which she had managed to do in the past. And Maynard, who was played by Trench, and, Riley. And that was basically it. That was all I expected. But I remember messaging Trench and being like, I am fucking astounded by the amount of people who are freaking the fuck out over Sammy dying.
I remember
the
that.
best was, I remember it's like, I was like, did you know that there's like a whole scene on Mr. Moonstream with Tommy Two Snakes, like, and Mama being upset because OB's telling him like some small child was killed. And she's like, what? Yeah. And then they look at the thing. It's like, she was 25 years old. What the fuck? That was an amazing moment. But yeah, no, that was an incredible. I know she didn't want to. Nobody wanted Sammy to be dead, and that's probably what made it so effective.
Oh yeah, but it's.
I'm convinced. I'm gonna kill my characters.
Can you tell the funeral story, please, that you told me about?
Oh.
At her funeral.
Yeah.
Can you please tell us?
Yeah. So I was there because Wesley Shields, who was Sam's original like partner in crime, where he held her at gunpoint during a bank robbery, and Grenig, who I fucking love and adore just so fucking much. He and I have for the many months that he and I have been role playing together, spent a bunch of time basically where every time we'd run into each other, we'd try and make each other break character by making each other laugh. And and so I was being used as a hostage on Sammy in a bank robbery, and he was holding me at gunpoint. And so I basically spent the entire time trying to make him laugh in character. And it was completely ridiculous and silly, and I'm taking my life seriously. Obviously, I'm being held at fucking gunpoint, but I'm having a good time while I'm doing it because fuck it. But I literally spent a bunch of time with Grenig after that, where Wesley and Sammy became really fucking good friends, and then eventually the two of them kind of developed a relationship where they weren't dating, but they were, very much like emotionally involved and, intimately involved as well. Yeah, fucking. They were fucking.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you, Trench, for the visual.
Thanks, Trench.
For those who didn't know
what fucking is. If you don't know what fucking is, it involves this.
Yeah.
But not with fingers.
Basically.
No. But there was a lot of that going on. Any fucking way. So when Sammy died, I was on Ophelia, and Ophelia was another character of mine who was in a relationship with Wesley. Very confusing. But
that is confusing.
Hey, skip it. Skip that.
Skip it. But I happened to be at the funeral on Ophelia for Sammy, and I was there with Wesley and Lily and a bunch of other people. And there were all these people who were getting up and saying like the loveliest, sweetest things about Sammy, and just being really, really kind and sweet and caring, and then Grenig walks up, and the whole like vibe of the funeral has been like exceptionally fucking sad because everybody basically has been like, this is a little girl. And he gets up and he goes, hey, welcome to Sammy's funeral. I just want to say, for those of you who were saying she's a little girl, it's fucking weird. She was a grown-ass woman. We had a lot of sex. And that was basically the gist of everything that he said at the funeral. And everybody was freaking the fuck out at the funeral, being like, oh my God. And he was like, she was a grown-ass woman, okay? She was 25. We will...
I believe I also got a DM like, get up there and say something too about fucking her. Yeah. I was like, I can't. That was
a
enough.
DM.
Yeah, you did. You 100% did.
I want people to know my character's fuck.
I was like, yeah, so can people know that she's not a child? So I
Yeah, she
need
just wanted
Maynard
to
to
know
go
she's
up
not a
there and
Okay.
say some shit about how, you know,
I'm
she
sorry
did some
for
shit.
this, by the way.
What is it? Oh, you son of a
Are you
bitch. Is
eating
that mint
Jell-O?
chocolate chip ice cream?
Mint chocolate chip?
It's mint chocolate chip ice cream, isn't it? You
Ooh,
fuck.
is that Talenti or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I recognize that.
That is my favorite flavor of ice cream in the entire
Coffee
world.
makes me want to eat ice cream. I'm sorry.
Coffee.
Oh, Nia! I was just talking about you.
Hey, Nia. Can you please stop flirting with McGregor every time you see him?
Actual cannibal Moxie.
Your boobs out.
I also want to say I went into Panda's stream the other day to go and say hello. And Nia, your Moxie's obsession with trying to convince people that eating people at like just doing
She's still talking about it?
She's still fucking talking about eating fucking people.
Gross.
It's still fucking talking about eating people to this day. I was like,
Yeah, please.
What was it? If you could.
if it was a
eat
scientific
people.
experiment.
Yeah, and you wouldn't get any
that was okay.
judgment.
Uh-huh.
You wouldn't get any judgment, and you wouldn't get in trouble. And you could. Would you try human meat?
Is this a real life
She's like,
question or a
hell
character
yeah.
question?
It was
Oh,
both.
no.
This is
Oh,
both.
sorry.
I
hold on.
think. Wait, okay, she's saying you worded it wrong. All right, give us the
Wrong, you
correct
worded it
wording,
wrong.
please.
Okay, Nia,
Nia?
please elaborate. But yeah, this was a thing. I
Yeah, so
ran
clearly
into
this is
her
a real
on
life
Sammy.
thing. She's gonna obsess.
Oh my
This is in the
God,
middle
yeah,
of
look, here
Van
it is.
Horn. This is in the middle of Van Horn. She brought up in front of like 10 people.
Oh yeah, look, there's the clip. The driver posted.
Sammy wasn't a child, and we had a lot.
What
of
is
sex.
this of?
This is of the funeral.
With me through.
Okay,
This is
yes.
what Wesley said at the funeral.
All right, hold on. Let me.
I love Driver. He's the goddamn Wikipedia of this.
All right,
He is.
I haven't
Server.
figured out how to pipe. Well, I didn't take the time to pipe my audio through my mic, so you guys aren't gonna hear this in
That's fine.
as.
I was
I'm
there.
good
I
right
witnessed it.
All right.
It all.
We are
Good times in
being
the
raided.
Fuck, this ice cream's good.
Also, I would just like to say that some people have been calling her a child, and she was 25 years old. So we just need to stop calling her a child because she was a grown-ass woman. And I had a lot of sex with her.
Jesus H. Christ.
Maybe.
All right, maybe another time. Yeah.
Well, I did. She would.
okay.
She would want. This is her funeral, and I will say
Right.
things that she would have liked.
Okay.
Somebody walks away. Wait,
Anything? All right.
With me through.
whose stream was that?
Linda's.
Linda. Okay.
Mm.
We just got raided by Stardays. Hey, thanks Stardays for the raid.
Oh my God. Hello.
That would be Lender. Lendermations, not Linda.
Fuck off.
Just for the record.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I was
he
like-
said Linda.
I didn't
It
want to be
wasn't you.
rude and be like, who the fuck is
My-
Linda? But
My accent
know who
is
Lender
so
makes.
fucked.
say it
He
one more
said
time.
Linda. That's the only reason I said it.
Linda.
Lender.
Linda, honey, listen.
I was like, Linda, okay. She must be cool. I hope she roleplays on the server.
Love
Yeah, I know who
Linda
Lender
my new
Mations
mode.
is.
Oh my god. I can't. My accent is so scuffed. Holy fuck.
Okay, here's the Neoj rules. If there was ever a situation where someone has donated their body to some kind of science study, and the government who took the body in as like, let's do a study on what people think, how people taste in a safe environment, and they set you up with like a few other people, and you are handed a plate with a slab of meat. Would you eat it? I guess is probably the rest of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No.
No. Nia,
I'm.
You're the
Do
only
you
one.
know it? Do you know it's human meat?
Yep.
If
That's
you
the point. It's the
know
whole
it's-
experiment to find out what human
Okay,
meat tastes
Nia,
like.
do we know it's
Are you getting
human meat?
paid?
We know it's human meat. No.
No, it's just you. It's your opportunity
don't-
to eat human meat without
No.
judgment.
No, I've never had it. I've never been. We already know what it tastes. It's called long pig. We know it
For
kind of
human
tastes.
studies.
We know
We're
it
doing
kind
it-
of tastes like pig,
Yeah.
but I'm not interested in kind of tasting pig. I'll just go
I'll eat
eat
pig.
actual pig.
Sign this release, eat human meat.
But here's I have a follow-up question though. If they paid us like $100,000, I'd probably do it.
Oh, if there's money involved,
Oh,
fuck yeah.
yeah. If they were paying me.
Maybe
hell
even
yeah.
10
If it was
grand.
free,
Maybe even
fuck
10
no.
grand.
I'll eat both of you for
Nia, would-
$150.
Wow.
Like our whole bodies? That's a lot.
If you're dead,
Like,
Are
yeah,
you
well,
dead?
obviously
Wow.
we're dead, but I mean,
Okay, what if
that's
you
a
have
lot
to
of
slaughter?
food.
You have to slaughter us.
That's like
No.
25 meals. You'd eat
$500.
for
Nia
500
said that
bucks.
she'd do it for free.
Nia, would
I know
you
that
eat
this-
all
this
three
is
of
a
us for free?
This is a science
That's a lot of
experiment.
meat.
That's
I
a
get
lot
it,
of
Nia.
meat.
Pandemic.
I'm not about it.
You'd have to freeze a lot of that meat.
I'd need a lot of money.
So would you do it for 10 grand? Would you try like a human steak for 10 grand?
A bite? How much do
Oh,
I
a
have to eat the
steak?
whole steak?
Fuck no.
Like a tiny
do you-
No.
do you need it-
mignon?
What are you imagining
have,
you're going
like-
to be eating?
I would have like a tiny little like thin bit.
Just one
For 10
bite.
grand.
One bite for 10 grand?
One
A
bite.
morsel.
But
of
if I had to
human.
eat like the whole fucking thing, fuck no. I would need a shitload more money than that.
Hmm.
No.
I think I
Like putting like a human steak in front of it. No.
you could buy 10 grand worth of A1 sauce. A1 sauce is delicious. There is something in there. I'm pretty sure it's vinegar, but it could also be crack. Anyways, so it's time for those of you. This is our first ever Ask That Question.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go.
Trenchmouth. This is the question that me and Bees Knees decided on that we are going to ask every single guest on our show. And it is if you
Good
could
poke.
smash any RP character in real life, who would it be and why?
Smashes and destroy or bang?
Bang, bang.
Bang.
On the server?
I would say, yeah, that'd probably be best so
Okay,
people know what you're
okay.
talking about.
This is tough. I got like a top
So
10.
many options.
Listen, you're talking to somebody who started the most horrible thing at some point, getting people to tell them the top 5 people on the server they want to have sex with, like in character. So
I'm glad that
this
you
is
said
your
in
answer.
character.
Yeah, in character. Yeah, I was running around Herbie. But if I had to make the 5 people and put them in order, you want to have sex with.
Mm-hmm.
How many people
Yeah,
answered
number-
that?
I
Everybody.
did,
It
I
was a lot
remember
of
it.
trouble. It was a
Georgie.
lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Then I
Kono
get-
did it too. He did it on Clint Taylor.
Oh, I'm
Yep.
sorry. You're not
I
allowed
mean,
to call
I-
him Kono anymore. You get in trouble from chat.
Every time I did it, as Herbie, I would say number 3, as always, is Maeve and Camino at the same time. The couple. Yeah, I cheated my own game. Um,
Okay.
Maeve and Camino at the same time is a choice.
Oh my god, this would be ridiculous.
Do you need time to think
Mhm.
about it?
Yeah, there's a lot of people to choose from.
That's true. There is a
That's
lot of
true.
people.
Like current, like yeah, I got to think like right now is different. If it's all time, it's another thing.
We should
All
probably.
time.
What do you think? What do you think, Beast? Should we do right now or should we do all time?
Ooh, all time.
Like,
All
does
time?
a character have to be active right now? Is that
No.
it? Okay.
Can be anyone, but you got to give us a reason too.
Kano.
Okay. Well, see, now I'm like,
Kano.
I mean, I need to see everybody's face now that I could see all the women's faces.
I know. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of every character's face.
What
I
about,
was assuming you were gonna pick a big burly man that would lay on top of you, but
Mm.
It doesn't have to be big. It's just as long as it's the weight of a man, then I'm cool with
wait,
it. It could be a tiny man. It could be a large man.
Just the
You can
man.
do fuck, marry, kill with people on the server.
Okay, no, I'm gonna answer this. I'm gonna answer
The
this.
characters on the server.
This is tough. Making a decision is tough. It's not like I don't want to answer it. I just have too many answers.
Yeah, I understand. Remember, this isn't your
Let me
character.
go through my screenshots.
This is this isn't your character. This is you. Like, who do you want to smash? You want me to start throwing ideas out for you?
You can, but I can go through my thought process too.
Okay. I mean, have you seen? Okay, the first character that I've seen actually use the what is it called when you're like bigger? It's not stout. It's
stacked.
Stacked.
Oh yeah, but
Kasara said that the other night in our pay, and I just about died.
Okay, I'm gonna go through my list. You ready? I'm thinking of
your list.
Okay.
Yeah.
First one I'm gonna consider is Olive, who was Kai's first character, who ran around with her, was Herbie's best friend. Number 2, she was just very fun. Also terrifying, and that's something I find very attractive.
Who doesn't? Wait, number 2, what was the name?
Oh, number 2 I'm thinking about. Number 2 Sorry, I have funny thoughts in my head. I'm gonna go number 2. I'm gonna put it just because we were talking about it, and man, I just like somebody who is weird and likes to fuck, so Sammy. Number 3. This is just my option.
That's fair. That's
number
fair.
3 is
Are these in no particular order?
Yeah, no particular order. Just some dark hair princess biscuits. Let's go.
What about? Did you know Buttersworth? She seems like she's got some experience.
Disgusting.
Yeah, I agree. Disgusting. I just wanted to see if you'd go.
I know. I know that's the whole thing. Chat's like, oh god, I have to be with Mrs. Buttersworth. Like,
really?
You go be Mrs. Buttersworth, please.
Somebody was pushing that on Otis in character. I hate
anybody. They want anybody to fuck Mrs. Buttersworth.
Yeah.
No, it's the wild RP viewing community on Twitch. They just love romance. They just want.
This server is not about conflict. It's about shipping and romance and.
It really is.
I mean, that's true of every role play server. That's This one has not
They
escaped
just want
it.
romance.
If I do a current one, I'd do Todd. Everyone loves Todd now. I'm just looking for a popular answer.
Who's Todd?
Todd works at the ranch, and he's just so wholesome, and I fucking.
I was talking to Todd. I was on very briefly today, and Todd talked to me. He's like, "Oh, I was talking about treasure hunting," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Todd is very wholesome.
Let's go with. Is it Millie? Woo, Millie.
Millie, true.
Millie's a good one. Millie's up there. She's dead though. She's dead now.
That is very unfortunate.
Yeah, that makes it weird. But all right.
Yeah.
Well, you said all time. I get them before they die. I'm not gonna dig her up.
Okay, all right.
I've only dug up one person in character.
Was it someone's hands? Because I need to pull /
No, I
LEO.
grave robbed Buford of $60.
Nice.
The slow corruption.
The girls go crazy.
Did you know that they had to, when Banks' hands got cut off, they had to make some new laws because there was no laws for that. They were like, what the fuck do we charge these people with when we catch them? So they made
grave robbing.
They in the penal code, there's now grave robbing and desecration of a corpse.
Interesting.
Added in.
Didn't know that.
Okay, I've decided my answer.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm I'm picking Marilyn because I just want to fuck her up.
So you wanted, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I just mess her up.
Marilyn, dude.
I want to mess.
Who's Marilyn for people that don't know, like me?
She
Oh.
hasn't played, but Beeps Mosa, and she was very proper Southern fiddly dee,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Scarlett O'Hara type.
Oh yeah, that would. I would probably
Very like she was awesome. Like she's awesome. She
Mhm.
she wound up like she's very charming and all this stuff. But yeah, just if I'm gonna give an answer, I just
That's a
look at
fucking
this.
great
Yeah,
answer.
no,
Handsome Cole
Yeah.
or Jack?
Fuck yeah.
yeah. Well,
Okay.
if I start opening it up to men too, then I'm gonna be here all day picking. So
Yeah, it's a hard. You know what? Maybe we should ask that
what about you guys?
at the beginning and then let them think about it.
Mm,
We don't. This is our podcast. We don't have to answer.
mm.
Irrelevant. It doesn't matter.
I
You're the
would
host.
fuck
Okay.
everyone because I'm an equal.
That
I
doesn't
feel.
no cop out answers. Cop out.
I
It's fine. I don't
definitely-
actually care, so that's cool.
I
Oh,
definitely
damn.
have run into a few characters where I'm like, oh, and if I ran into them in real life, I'd yes. But there's so many.
Yeah.
There's so many.
I mean,
I'm-
it's like it's not as bad as Conan, but almost everyone is fucking gorgeous. So there's that.
Nelson's butt was that's very good.
I feel like are all pants awesome on women, or is it just that specific pair
it's
that
that
everyone
it's
wears?
That women all choose the same pair of pants.
Yeah, I think
'cause
that's.
their butt
I
looks
think you're
good.
right.
The kind with the 6 buttons up front. That's somebody wants their butt to look good. Give me a
Exactly.
fucking break.
Riggs
They're the
wears
fucking
those.
best pants.
Not that I would notice.
Listen, okay? I refuse to answer, all right? You know, you can't make me, okay? Leave me alone. But also, I will say this, I didn't know anything about those pants until I literally saw Kai wearing those pants, and then I was like, these are good pants. And so I decided to put them on, and I've never looked back.
Kaya has liked those pants quite a bit since she first discovered them too.
Looking
Yeah.
at Riggs's butt all the time.
Everyone
This
looks
is
at
what-
Riggs's butt. Don't judge me.
I will
Looking at
100%
that
say this right
butt.
now. Dead set, hand on my heart. B, am a pervert. And I
Yeah,
will
same.
frequently look at the boobs and butts of characters
Yeah.
on Wild. And I'm not ashamed to
I
admit
feel like
that,
the
okay?
guys kind of get fucked over though. Like most of their pants are really bad.
There's no pants that give you a butt.
Unless you're a average or like athletic model and you wear one of the tight pants. Because I can't on McGregor, I can't wear those tight pants. They clip. So I have to wear
Just
those.
gotta get the arms out. That's all.
I know, yeah. But Baz will choke you out. All right, calm down, okay? Oh, we are looking back, trust me. When you walk away, are you hitting C so you can see behind you and watch everyone watching your ass?
Pull the binoculars out.
Okay, fun fact, I legit unashamedly will make characters in games and I'll make them like I will spend hours in a
Mhm.
character creator making my character stupid attractive just so I can flip the camera around and watch them do shit and just be like, my character is so attractive.
So hot.
That's it.
Look at him
Yeah,
making this
that's
bench. So hot.
I get very self-conscious making my characters attractive.
I
I think I need to move their eyes closer together.
I'm gonna make him have one eye point over here. Yeah, I get that. Conan is
Well,
a
now
different animal
that-
though. Like,
Mm.
first of all, there's full-on nudity in that game. Secondly, there's dong and boob sliders.
Yeah, the boob
Which
slider
I refuse
is
to max. I refuse to max the dong slider and be like everyone else. All right, I don't jump on that bandwagon.
I've only done it
I-
once for my character Max Dong, but that was it.
I didn't realize that the boob slider isn't necessarily true to
Nope.
what you see on the
It's
thing.
No,
always
yeah,
bigger
it's
than it
bigger.
is.
Yeah, and it also
I told you.
it also
Because I put it
you-
on my tiny little character, and
Oh,
I was like,
no.
oh my god,
Huge pendulous
Oh.
breasts.
massive, and she's tiny. And
That's
I'm
what I
like,
did that when I had a female
Oh.
character, and it would drive me nuts because you could see them swinging from behind. Like you'd see them swinging out the sides when they're running from behind. It's fucking. I'm like, oh, disgusting. People are gonna think I'm fucked up. I made a lady character with these huge tits.
Exactly, yeah. And
I'm
on
not.
top of
I'm not
that-
here looking at my character naked. Okay, I'm just not.
On
I
top of
love
that,
this character.
the
Like a child.
perk
I don't
level,
need to see its tits.
the perk level, the bigger you get, becomes more and more ridiculous because the level of perkiness remains the same, and they just keep getting bigger, so they go out like straight out, and it just looks.
It's like.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. It looks weird. But
I was putting on armor, and I ran up to Trench, and the armor weirdly separates the boobs.
Yeah, like-
so they were
yeah.
like pointed out like like this in straight lines, and I just started cracking up. I was like, "You see this?"
So
Always.
someone said something in chat that I forgot about. Oh yeah, big boobs. So I was trying to get to this. The female characters now, people can see the differences in them, and that includes body types. And
I know.
Schmooge
Bad time to not have Nora.
I
recreated.
know.
Schmooge recreated her character MJ just to get the broader body type, and
Huge.
her boobs are definitely bigger. So
Yeah.
you're
She came to the
wrong
road.
there.
She came to the Roadhouse last night after we had our opening soiree
Mhm.
and our opening raffle, which you intended as well.
I was there for
And
that.
yes, I remember. The best was we had this whole mom and I had this whole conversation before. She's like, we're gonna have this fight, but the problem is McGregor bought tickets. He's gonna be there. I was like, well, here's what we do. You get everybody in there, and I'll tell him I have a question. I'll bring him outside and make up a fake report about a crime. And then while you're inside, you tell everybody, when I say Roadhouse, start fighting. And then, we act like we don't know. Then she goes inside and immediately starts talking about it while you're upstairs. We're going to get busted
Whoa.
for so much shit because people are upstairs. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
does kind of suck about the Roadhouse, is that the gambling
Mhm.
table's right
Yeah,
above
it's
the
good. We'll
bar.
get in a lot of trouble for saying dumb shit. We'll never remember it.
Fair enough.
Roadhouse.
I'm trying to find a picture of Nora because nobody will ever
She's
get to
terrifying.
yeah, because nobody ever got to see what she
No.
looked like because the model was fucked. But I have a close up of her face, and I've just sent it to you, August.
Oh yeah, I'll pull it up
And
for everyone.
and nobody ever saw it. Nobody ever saw it.
God.
Yeah, literally nobody ever saw what she
Mhm.
looked
She
like.
looks
'cause she was
kind of
this-
like Al Pacino.
she,
Hooah. Yeah, it does.
she was a
Or Joe-
skinny.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
Maybe Joe
yeah,
Pesci,
she-
actually.
I'll be right back.
her body model was always fucked, and so she was always like tiny, but she was like huge and like had massive tits and used to wear like
Oh
corsets all
man,
the
now I
time,
wish we
and
could
they'd
have
like
full
be like
body.
yeah, and they'd be like falling out. I can try and see if I can find a full body. I actually really have to find it, but that was Nora, and nobody ever saw her
I think this
looking
is
like
Joe
that. But that's what
Pesci.
she looked like.
This is Joe. I
Joe
was wrong. It's
Pesci?
not Al Pacino. It's Joe Pesci, I think.
Oh my fucking god! All right, hold on. Let me see if I can.
Woof.
I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to-
exactly, Hatter.
I'm gonna have to.
She
Go.
will be in my nightmares.
Oh my god, how far back am I gonna have to go? Let me see.
I might need to go get another drink. I'm out. My drink is run out. But all I have
Go
left...
grab another drink.
Okay, but all I have left to drink is... I'm kind of ashamed of this, but I mentioned it last...
Wine coolers.
No, I don't have wine coolers. I have hazelnut liqueur.
That sounds nice.
It's so tasty.
Nom, nom, nom.
You're supposed to mix it with vodka, I think, but I don't have any vodka.
Oh my god, here's a picture of all the Georgies when everybody was dressed up as Georgie for the fights. I'm just going through old photos now. This is very distracting. I shouldn't be doing this.
I mean, I'm digging Joe Pesci. I just want to see Joe
Joe
Pesci's
Pesci.
giant
Yeah, I'm-
boobs.
Yeah, I'm trying to find her. Where the heck
Don't you dare leave, Kai. Kai's about to leave. Wow.
Wow. Wow, Kai.
All right. Go get some rest. We love you. I actually do love
you.
Kai. I do. She's great.
I mean,
I know
I
I
don't
don't get to hang
blame
out
you.
with her enough.
Kai is wonderful.
I need to set aside some Kai time.
What the fuck am I looking at here?
I think it's
Yeah.
it's like almost 2 a.m. for her. She's
Oh,
got a
jeez.
life, unlike me.
Oh, 2 a.m. That's so late.
I was up last night till 5 a.m. role playing on Conan. I was like, I'm just gonna log in for like 30 minutes and just kind of fuck around.
5
And
a.m. Huh?
yeah, and these two women.
That's late.
Are you?
Yeah,
Do you stay up later than that?
I have once or twice.
These two women find my character who's dressed in basically rags, half naked, and are like, we're gonna make you some clothes. And it took like a good 3 hours. Audible gasp. I have
Bye,
been
Kai.
gifted subs.
Bye,
I have you,
Kai.
human viewer.
All right, I have.
Major Black, really quick. Major Black, thank you so much for the 4 gifted subs. I appreciate that. Just so everybody knows, any subs or donations or bits that come in during the podcast, we are going to split 50-50. Half of it is going to go towards getting a new mic for bees. The other half is going to go towards artwork for the podcast.
Very exciting. All right. Okay. I have the picture. Let me. Oh God. Okay.
The
So yeah,
picture.
this is when I used to make her wear a corset and work at the bar.
I've seen this. This is terrifying.
Am I going to wake up in the middle of the night with
Is
a
that
cold
one?
sweat?
As long as you just don't
Yeah.
cover up her face, because then it'll get confusing.
There you go.
Audible gasp. I have been gifted subs.
Oh, God.
Thank
Whoa.
you, human Kai. viewer. Coming in with 10 gifted subs and pushing for that hype train.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Kai, for the 10 gifted subs. Are you guys ready to see a disgusting picture?
Hell yeah, dude.
These people always want to see disgusting pictures. Trust me.
That is.
That's
that
her
is
She's a
leaning.
tank. Look at that tank.
That's
Yeah,
her
dude.
leaning, and this is her standing up. Just- them hips, they don't stop. They just keep on going.
She was yeah. This is when I used to she looks nothing like I remember exactly, Nia, because nobody ever saw her the way that she actually looked, dude. But this is what she legitimately looked
We all
like.
think we look a lot different than other people do. I think we look.
Yeah.
It's very, very deep, very meta.
Very, very deep. We're
That
getting,
is-
we're getting
Oh, you're talking about real life. Yeah, that's true. We all think we look different.
It's just
and
like
we-
this. Yeah,
Welcome
it's just
to
like
the
that.
burrow.
She's
you know,
self-
you're
she had
just a
bad
Nora.
self-image.
You know? You look this is how you feel on the inside, but on the outside, you're what everybody else saw of Nora, which was not this. And I'm really fucking sad that the body models got fixed after I fucking killed her, because I would love for people to have actually seen her the way that she actually looked, because she's terrifying and just overtly over-sexual for no reason.
I love that. Love it.
She was certainly something to behold.
Let's hold on. Let me let's go to this one. And can we get a little more of the voice, maybe? People can get the full.
Yeah. This is when Arabi made me work at the fucking bar, and there was some fuckwit who kept coming in there all the time, and he would give me shit. And so I took him out the back and I beat the shit out of him, and I told him he wasn't allowed back in my fucking bar. That's legit. That happened. And then he came back and fought her again, and then she beat him up in the bar.
Because you're for you've told me this before. You're like, I'm not good at video games, but you're like an expert at fist fighting. You've won
And
multiple tournaments on Georgie.
yes,
You're like,
well,
for
that's
whatever
fist
reason, you're
fighting.
really good at fist fighting in this game.
In this game, yeah.
And
Any
in
other
real
game?
life. And in real life, right?
Yeah, bro.
Give us your Kiwi bro voice.
Oh, hi, bro.
Hey, bro. Hey, bro.
Hey, bro. How's it going? I so you have been meaning to go on too for a little while. I just haven't done it, and I really need to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You need
coulda used
to.
it last night.
Yeah, it's gonna go on there last night. I'm going to spend some time just hanging out with my mates. I'm supposed to be acting as a bodyguard, but I haven't really got around to it yet. But I definitely need
I'm
to
alright.
start making moves.
Sorry, the threat of death on Herbie. So
Under the constant threat of death, because Hoiby
it's a
is
very
a shit
specific one
talker.
now.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
very exciting.
Juicy meta. I want it.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna fuck up a lot of things if it actually happens. So
Well, if Herbie dies, I'm revolting.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm revolting.
well,
I'm
What
full cry mark.
character would be the most devastating to get like murdered in a tragic way?
Oglethorpe.
Oglethorpe would be fucking huge. A lot of people would
you
say
mean in
Molly.
general for the server?
Yeah, on the
In general
server
for the
that's
server, yeah,
currently
yeah.
alive. I mean, I think a lot of people would say Jenny's character
these
Molly,
days.
but
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
But there's not as many with the size of the server now. You know, when it was 32 people, everybody knows everybody, so it's
Yeah,
easier to have
it's
a
way
character like
different
that
now.
that would affected everybody. So
Mhm.
it's a
Yeah.
tough one.
Yeah. I definitely. Are we going
There's-
from like a character based?
Yeah, like who it would devastate the character, the other people of the crossing. I feel like Dr. K, Oglethorpe, Molly, Baz. Half
I
the
do-
server
Well,
would
Dr.
be
K just
totally
got
fine
gunned.
with that.
Dr. K just got shot a bunch, so that's
Yeah.
pretty close.
I definitely think.
Handsome Cole.
I think Bella as well. Bellatrix, definitely.
That'd be a big one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good.
She's a staple for sure.
Yeah, Bellatrix. Cash as well.
I don't
yeah,
think
Cash.
so.
I definitely think that if something happened to Cash, people would be really fucking
No,
upset.
some people would. I'm talking about like a character that transcends the like criminal law divide, where you know, like everyone would be like, "Fuck, shit."
Yeah.
I feel like at one point Otis was near there, but I don't play him anymore, so
Otis. I fucking love Otis.
he was well liked. I was
Hmm.
surprised by that because I thought he was gonna die. Pip,
Pip. Yeah, Pip,
McGregor would
probably.
jump for fucking joy. Pip shot McGregor like 4 times. Fuck Pip. Edbert,
Jesus H. I think
Toby.
Yeah, Toby.
That would be tragic.
Definitely Toby.
Agent Toby might be my greatest creation. The biggest accomplishment is making Agent Toby
What
an
would-
actual
would you-
character.
Bianca
Okay.
as well, yeah.
Bianca would be
big
big
deal.
for sure. I
Yeah.
know that McGregor would lose his shit if Bianca was killed.
I will
Trench,
say
What would
this.
it take? Okay, go.
Just quickly, Frost makes characters that when they die, it fucking hurts. That bitch has done it to me so many fucking
let's
times.
talk about Frost because I DM her fairly regularly, and I'm just like, thank you so much for like giving so much to the server. Because honestly, you're always on either your medic or your deputy, and those are roles that are kind of required for the server to function properly.
Mm-hmm.
Without someone giving medical RP or without there being a law presence, like a lot of shit just like happens that's just it doesn't feel as good. So she's awesome, and I really appreciate the work she puts in.
Yeah, definitely.
But what I was going
She's
to say
fucking
is
phenomenal.
she is phenomenal. What I was going to say is to Trench, would you ever consider, like under the right circumstances, would there ever be a point where you would perma Toby?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If
Like-
someone came over and purposely gunned down Toby, yeah,
You
he's
do
dead.
it? Oh my God, that would be
Mhm.
that'd be nuts. She's about to cry.
Yeah, no, I mean, what was I gonna do if someone was like, "I'm gonna fuck with Oglethorpe. I'm
Mhm.
gonna get in front of him with his horse, and I'm gonna blast his horse, Agent Toby, in the face."
Oh God.
I mean, that's a thing where it's like, okay, it's an NPC, it's my horse, I've built up this huge character.
Yeah.
You know, I have not
I would be
convinced the admins to let me do an
traumatized.
Agent Toby stream, but he's dead.
I would be.
Yeah, I would be.
Fucking
You gotta see me. I
traumatized.
will lose my mind. If I talk about it too much, I'll probably make myself upset. But
Yeah.
if someone purposely goes after Agent Toby,
I love how you
will
call him
probably-
agent.
He is. He's
He's
still
an agent.
He's stolen from the United States government. He's an agent. He is.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I don't know
He's
anything
an
about
employee. Yeah, he's an employee. He's an employee of the Division of Biological Survey.
this.
So he's an agent. But he, I would. If someone went after him, that would be the end of Toby.
That's
Damn.
good.
God knows
What?
the start
I
of
think
what else.
I think that might be the answer to the other question. I think that if Toby died, there would be a server-wide manhunt. I think that.
Oh,
I think that
I would be distraught.
there would be some vigilantism happening across the crossing. Fucking-
I
You'd
would,
be out there
I was
hunting them down with
talking-
a hatchet.
I've talked about this several times on stream and stuff, but they, I have Oglethorpe has an outfit. I've made him an outfit. It's not one he just has sitting there just in case. It's one that I have sitting there just in case. But if something terrible happens, to say to Georgie or Baz, or apparently Agent Toby, I have and he doesn't react well, I have an outfit. I have other things ready to go
Oh
in
no!
case something like that happens. So
Oh
I
God!
dare somebody to kill Agent Toby.
Mhm.
Don't say that in chat. People are watching. Oof.
It's meta now. It's meta if you kill Agent Toby.
Yeah,
so
if
I'll
anybody
report you.
kills
Leave my
Agent
horse alone.
Toby, we're gonna know that you were watching this.
Yeah.
Don't touch Agent
If
Toby.
hey, if you do kill Agent Toby, say just hashtag Zug of the Bug, so I know you'll get credit for as a watcher of this podcast.
Zug in the bag.
Dug in the bag.
Nice.
Hell fucking yeah, dude.
Okay.
No, I've grown very attached to my horse in game.
I permed my
I-
horse the other
Oh,
week.
yeah.
I have grown so fucking attached to my horse.
No, if your horse goes, that's a real problem.
Yeah, like I've had that horse.
Poor Adoha.
It was. I've had that horse on Georgie for so fucking long, and I'm so used to riding around on it now that like when I see other horses, the same breed of horse, I instinctively start walking towards it because
Yeah.
I'm so fucking used to it now. That when I play like other characters and they have a different horse, I often am like, where the fuck's my horse? Because I'm looking for Aroha. But it's their fucking Aroha. If anything happened to my horse, I'd be fucking devastated.
Yeah.
Devastated, dude.
I totally get what you mean. I didn't perma my horse when someone ran into it last week.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, Esme's horse Dice got run over by a fucking train.
What were you
you know-
doing, Sheriff?
She was just hanging out.
Let's
She
talk
was
about.
literally-
I want to talk about Esme actually.
Oh,
Now that you bring her
sure.
up, what's going on, Esme? Were you just like, I have too many
Oh.
characters, I need to take a break, or?
I had too many characters,
Mhm.
and on top of that, I've been doing lore for a really fucking long time. I went from Georgie, then straight to Esme,
Mhm.
and I just was like, I love being lore, and I love the lore team. I really, really do. But I just was feeling a bit burnt out on that. And I just was like, I'm really keen to just go back to Civ life for a while.
Yeah.
So after the Jack Kettleman thing where she got cleaved in the chest, the bull-headed thing,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I just was like, okay, like I'm gonna use this as an opportunity for me to take a break. So I basically just RP'd that she has like some
Hold on.
serious health issues from that injury. And so now she's in recovery somewhere. Just because I was like, I just want to take a little break. I've been doing law for a really long time. And I'd also been doing like really intense medical RP on Ophelia. And I was like, I just want to take a little break from all of that. I just want to play like a Civ.
So you're going to
like a
sleep?
genuine Civ for a
It's
while.
nice and calm. Like,
Yeah.
right, it's nice and easy, like Georgie.
Yeah.
All right, I've got
So
the video.
easy.
I've got the video chat, so we can see exactly what happened here. I made this. I made this video, but this is part of it. So this scene, let me set it up for you. The law had Kettleman, Briggs, Pip, Baz, I think Mills, and Clayton surrounded. We had a great position on them. We would have won that fight for sure. Jack is like, let me negotiate. And Esme, played by Bees, decides, all right, let's negotiate. We'll try to get everybody out here alive. We come to an agreement, and Jack gives his word that they're going to follow it. And he said, or we decided every deputy is going to pick a criminal. We're all going to ride into town. 4 of them are going to get charged, and 2 of them are going to get let go in exchange for them coming in peacefully. And this is what happened. He said, bullheaded. This is Esme. Right here. Let's back that up.
Hi.
Oh. Is it Jack
Noises
that gets
of
her too? I
violence.
think it is.
Yeah, he absolutely got me point blank in the chest.
There it is. Here it comes. He says bullheaded. I get shot there. And right in the chest. And there she is. I'd also...
Bye.
I am extremely lucky, by the way. I just want to point that out as well. I get shot once, missed. They missed twice. They missed 3 times. They missed 4 times. You can see the bullets. And another one right here, 5 times. Jack chases me with a knife. And he decides right about here that he doesn't want to...
legs flying up in the air.
Hold on, let's just watch it. Right here, there's Jack. He has a knife out. There's me. He decides he's going to kill Reeves instead of me.
I love the connotations of the...
This is the ultimate. Right here, we choke out the choke master, chat.
Fuck you! There's someone up on the roof over there.
And then the end of the scene, I shoot Mills, and then Pip fucking shoots me again.
Shot.
All right.
On Cloud.
All right. Anyways, but that was a crazy scene, and
Yeah, it really was.
It's still generating RP to this day. Like, McGregor's going around to people who are close to Jack and being like, hey, he fucking broke his word. Like, you can't trust him. Like, it's still generating RP. So, I mean, I don't know. Law gets shit on all the time. Really, we do. But it's really good for story.
Yeah. I mean, we take big L's all the time. But it's all in good fun. And I mean, my thing is, I generally, when I'm in shootouts, I'm sitting there like, my hands like, because I'm freaking the fuck out the whole time.
A big adrenaline. Yeah, for sure.
I'm freaking the fuck out. And most of the time, I'm literally sitting there going, I don't know where the fuck to go. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm shooting in a general direction, hoping I'm hitting something.
Yeah. Well, that time you didn't have to go through that because you were just...
No.
You were downed immediately.
I was... The fight literally started the second that Esme hit the floor. That was it.
I think 2 people hit the floor immediately, and then 2 more people hit right after that. It was very quick. It was not a drawn out fight.
No, I have such intense fears about shootouts in general.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely get so anxious because I'm always very, very aware of the fact that I want it to be a fun shootout for everyone involved and,
Mhm.
trying to make it last as long as I can.
Yeah.
And I'm also just terrified as well, where it's like I really, really panic because I never want anybody when they get to like a shootout with any one of my characters where they go, "Oh shit, B's here," and they're not looking forward to me being there. Like I
Yeah.
never, ever, ever want that to happen,
Mhm.
ever. And so I'm always trying my absolute fucking best to make sure that I'm pacing everything out because I just want people to have fun, man. That's it. I just want people to have a good fucking time.
Yeah. I will also say on the subject of you getting burned down with law, I totally get that. I
Mm,
totally get that. Like, is it not only is it a lot of losing, which isn't necessarily bad, but I mean, when it's over and over again, it kind
It
of
gets
sucks.
old.
Yeah, it
It
gets
gets
old.
old.
And it's also a lot of getting shit on by chats. I've noticed, like, in general, the bigger streamers, they fucking hate law. They will come in and poop on us, and and like I get it. It's just they're just so invested in their favorite streamer's character and stuff. But
mhm. Well, I mean, going back to that thing where it's like some chats just don't necessarily know that RP is RP.
yeah,
And, I I constantly am trying my best to, like, when I stream, I'm always like, keep in mind that the law works so fucking hard, and there is a lot of shit that y'all don't see.
yeah,
And there's so much fucking work that goes into it, and so much fucking effort that goes into it, and so much of it you don't see. You only see the parts that the streamers you're following see,
right,
and it's very easy for people to go, the law does nothing, XYZ, which is like, no, they're really fucking working hard, but there's limits to everything that they can do. And of course, they're trying to give a lot of criminals, you know, the ability to have a longer arc. Like if people immediately went out and just fucking went and grabbed everybody all the time,
hmm
it wouldn't be as much fun, you know, being a criminal would fucking suck. It's about making sure that everybody involved on both sides of that have a good time.
hmm
And I think a lot of people go, "Oh, well, they finally caught this person, fuck the law." And it's like, no, like there's a lot of effort that goes into this. There's also waiting for the right moment. Like with Gavin Summers, there were plenty of opportunities where things could have happened,
hmm
but it was about elongating the story to try and keep it going and making sure that it was the right time, right place. Everybody was ready for it.
It's a bigger payoff in the end too. It's a little more satisfying,
Exactly.
better story. Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
And finally get the guy.
yeah.
You finally get the bad guys.
I have his rifle in my bank.
But yeah,
I'm gonna take it out when he gets out, so that there's some RP there.
fuck yeah.
He likes to mess with me in
Who?
Discord. Johnny Blams.
Johnny.
Be like, wait until Gavin gets out there.
Mhm.
No, I don't want a perma.
I don't want to put him on. No, don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have
I mean,
convinced me. Perma. It's in my mindset.
Perma Oglethorpe, right
Mhm.
after Agent Toby.
have you
So
played
next-
any characters?
Nah, nobody of note. Not on this server, no.
I want to do a permathon.
I've hit some people. I've stabbed some people with perma, but none of myself.
God.
Yeah, I remember the first time I was on GTA playing as Herbie, and this guy had stabbed me uh, at some point in a parking lot, and then he's later on, that like hours later, and as I was in the parking lot of the Boyga shot, and he started circling around me, and he was being threatening, and I just fucking hauled off and stabbed him. And then the guy permed, and I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" And he was like on his stream, like upset and crying. I'm like, "Oh, I feel terrible." He just fucking killed his character. But then I realized, well, I didn't have to. I just stabbed him in a parking lot. These should be fine.
Everything's fine.
It's a stabbing.
It's his choice.
Walk it off.
Just a light
Just
stabbing.
a brutal gut stab to the gut.
Everything's fine.
I love Oglethorpe as well. I was watching your stream because you stream pretty early. Usually it's when I'm
On
like
the weekend, yeah.
Usually it's when I'm like I'm just getting going, and so like I'll be doing other things or I'll be working out or whatever, and I'll watch your stream. And I love your animal facts things where you'll be role playing with someone and you're like, all right, chat, give me some strange shit. You just bring it right into the role play.
It's
I'll be right back.
it's something that helps me try to keep my brain a little awake by just making shit off. Just try to improvise at the top of my head.
Right.
And part of the reason I made the character is because I think I could endlessly make things up about animals. It's just, for whatever reason, just makes my brain go. So it's a nice test.
You're like a big fan of animals in real life, right? Like that's.
Yeah, I've always liked animals.
Yeah.
I like, although I've been zoos aren't supposed to be so great. Like a lot of people don't like zoos these days,
right?
But I like animals, so it's very easy. And actually, learning actual facts is super fun. And even before I did Oglethorpe, when I streamed, I considered just starting every stream with a weird animal fact.
Yeah.
Which I do now, so it's appropriate. But yeah,
yeah, you have a great intro to your stream. I've noticed as well. Do you have like a little video you play or something?
Yeah, Kai helped me make. Oh, she made it. I told her, I was like, "Can I have this?" And she said, "Yeah, I want it to be like a nature show opening."
That's
so
awesome.
She got all these shots of animals and stuff, and put in shots of Oglethorpe majestically running on the beach, getting attacked by animals. Really,
that's great. Isn't Kai such a delight? That's yeah.
She makes good videos too. She needs to make more.
I'm gonna have to.
No pressure.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask her. Hey, hook me up with a video.
She will absolutely do it. It was a lot of fun. Just like actually working with her too. She's like, okay, this is what I have, and sometimes it's difficult for me to articulate what I want, right? And like, this is what I'm looking for. But after doing that, it really worked very easily. I would recommend it.
Okay, I gotta come up with ideas then for a McGregor opening video. I mean, he's probably not gonna live as long as Oglethorpe, but I actually dread the day that I perma him. I don't want to.
Then don't.
You mean you don't have to? I mean,
put him in a hospital, ship him off.
God knows how long.
Yeah, ship him off back to Scotland. It's fine. And if you don't bring him back, you don't bring him back.
I don't know.
I have taken many breaks on Georgie before, but she's been around a really fucking long time, and I don't think I ever necessarily plan on permering her, just because I think I've grown very attached to her. If the situation I felt really fucking deserved the perma, and I felt like it was really going to help with the story, then I might. But, she's been around fucking long ass time, and since like June or July. So, and you don't have to perma your characters if you don't.
I think I might actually cry live on twitch.tv/orkishwc if I permit McGregor. I think I might actually.
Oh yeah, it's horrible. I bawled my eyes out when I killed Sammy, and I will be a complete wreck if I ever decide to perma Georgie.
Hold on, there's a fucking gibbon in chat. Can we get rid of this gibbon? Ugh.
Oh my fucking god.
Graham, we already talked about you. You're late.
Yeah,
Graham,
you missed it.
We can't say anything nice about you again now.
Yeah, we already said all the nice things. We're burnt out on it, all right? We raved about you. You'll just have to scrub through this VOD and try and find it.
What is this, Paul?
What's that?
You sent him the clip.
You sent him the clip of us talking nice about him. That's why he's here.
That's funny.
I was actually going to
Yeah,
talk about your
damn it.
law character. It's also very good investigating. I think investigating is something that is on law is kind of brushed over a lot of the times, and a lot of crimes just go unsolved because a lot of deputies, they want to just go out and arrest people and have the gunfight and have the excitement and then arrest them. And so it's nice to find another law character that wants to investigate. Not easy to do, especially when half the crossing is like, I'm not going to tell you shit. And then most of the criminals don't leave details. It's really hard to investigate, but it's fun to do.
I think investigating is fucking.
How's that Hawk
difficult.
case going? I know who did it.
Yeah, I think that's the whole appeal of being a lawman. I would think is actually doing some investigating and all that kind of stuff. So it's good that more people are doing it.
It's tough.
It's just, I think, and I'll tell you if I'm wrong, it's just so much crime is happening.
Yeah.
It's hard to be like, okay, and now especially with moonshine runs back in, I'm sure it was been fucking nonstop.
Today was pretty nuts. The first Saturday with
it's a lot.
moonshine.
I
But-
can imagine that it would have been.
Yeah, the Hawk case, which is frustrating because McGregor is pretty sure he knows who did that, but there's no witnesses. He wasn't there when it happened, so there was no details that he's aware of. Like, what do I do? I can go question people again, but yeah, it's tough, and it's like as a criminal who committed it, like, how do you even lead the deputies along to figure it out, dude? It's a tough thing, but they've talked about adding more things in that will make crimes better.
Yeah.
Evidence, yeah, which is huge because right now it's mostly just witness statements, which is not the best way to convict anyone. But
No, and not exactly 100% reliable. Which kind of sucks. But, I mean, there's definitely some exciting elements to investigations on law. Like when you actually figure something out and you manage to connect two dots, that is so fucking satisfying.
oh yeah.
Like, oh my god, it
sure.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I've had that once or twice
Mhm.
while playing law.
Yeah, I don't
No,
know. I've thought about being a law character so many times, but then I go, I know as soon as I say I want to do it, I'm suddenly going to want to do a lot of crime. It's just the way it works.
I've actually brought
You
that
know?
up in the law meeting about the 30-day rule. I think it's a bit
Oh,
too
yeah.
long. I get their reasoning behind it. I do. They explained it to me more thoroughly when I brought it up, but I think it could be cut down to like 15. That'd be better. But
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends, you know. I mean, I know that when I first applied to be law, I had only exclusively been playing criminals pretty much,
Mhm.
apart from Georgie. But even Georgie did some things. But I remember the time waiting, like where I couldn't do crime.
yeah.
I found that it passed really fucking quickly. Just because when you're doing law,
You're busy.
you're so fucking busy.
Yeah.
You are so fucking busy that you're like, yeah, I don't have fucking time anyway. You know? So,
That's
and
true.
it just passes by really fucking quick. You know? But, you know, each their own. How long have we been going now? Like 2.5 hours?
Yeah, it's about right.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Some outlaws are really, really generous. And I don't think it's necessarily like the outlaws that aren't generous are like, I don't fucking care. I think it's more like they don't know what to do.
Mhm.
How do I lead on the law? Like, and then the older hands at it are like, well, I'm gonna send in a tip from, you know, the NPC civilian
Yeah,
that's over there.
I think definitely you see a lot of his experience and of people who are newer here, and it's like, oh, I'm learning these new things and the new systems and that. And then you see people, if I can call out people in chat, like Graham, like we said before, who is just always making sure he leaves something, and especially Bear, who just is a total gremlin, but also just an incredible like giving RPer and stuff. They're very conscious of that stuff. Like, and I'm always like, I mean, not to be exaggerated, but in awe when they do something like that. It's like, fuck, like I need to remember to do that. That's awesome that it just comes so naturally to them.
I will rant real quick. Literal Bear, who I've been role playing on and off with since the server began, like our storylines have crossed a couple of times, is such a fucking gem and is such a giving role player. And I have had nothing but just incredible role play experiences with him. You know, like, and he's a fucking gremlin, but he's one of the fucking best gremlins that there's ever been. Like, with I abso-fucking-lutely loved Hutch Vandal, and I will until the day I fucking die.
Hutch is the apex outlaw. I've said it before. He is
apex outlaw. Yeah. And
whenever he wants to, he could come back as Hutch and just terrorize everybody. Like, guaranteed.
I just absolutely adore him and his roleplay. And is just so fucking wonderful and just a great member of the community. And really, really grateful that I've get to, you know, have, oh my God, words are hard, that I've been able to have the roleplay that I have with him over the year or so that he and I have been playing together. He's just great and I adore him.
Can I give an example? And I've said this before on my stream. So we were gearing up to do the hunt for Terry Bojangles, right? And shortly before it, I think it was in that stream, if not the stream before, I'm in the Telegram office in Rhodes, and I run into Marcus and Moxie, who I've been yelling have been kidnappers for weeks and weeks because they're dirty kidnappers.
Yeah.
And they hate him, but they just got out of jail, and he went so in on how he saw this gator and it was fucking terrifying, and they're doing this and you're doing that, and he built it up until this hard, like, he, you know, grabbed me to choke me so I know how serious I am, but he like made this like really intense thing and just built it up, and I was like, oh fuck, man, like that was like, I was like, I wanted this idea, like, thank you so much, here's like $20, I appreciate that. It was it was awesome. I was just like, so like, oh, okay.
You wanted to pay him in character for his roleplay?
No, out of character. I need to PayPal him for such good help. Yeah.
Nice. So he started that. So then Marcus started that whole hunt for the giant.
No. This was like the day of. So he was
okay.
So the hunt thing was just someone
and
told me about
he was
it.
in prison, so he saw it.
Yeah, he said I was in there, and it was stalking. You know, he had all these incredible details about it, killing people and shit like that. So
your camera died, but your face is perfect, so we'll just leave it that way.
Hold on. Yeah, it sucks.
Face is perfect.
It's just
I don't know about that, but
it's broke. It's borked.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
We're
Hold
just
on. Let me do this.
flying around.
Yeah, I don't know what I can do about that from my end.
It's
he left. I guess it's just me and you.
Oh, well.
Hey.
I don't know what that was.
I don't know.
I was just thrilled to be here, okay? I'm just having a time. Fuck it out. No, in all seriousness, though, there are so many wonderful people here. Like,
there are, truly.
Fuck yeah. Oh, there we go. Hi.
I have to recapture you.
Welcome on back. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, are you going to tell us what's in your fucking cup or not?
Do you want to know what's in my cup?
Yeah, what's in your damn cup?
What's in your cup? What's in the cup?
Nothing anymore.
Oh my God.
It's empty now, but what was in my cup? Would you like to know what was in my cup?
Alcohol. People want to know what you're drinking, sir.
It was a gin.
A gin man.
Yeah, I'm big. I go to a gin tonic is usually my drink if I go out, and I had a wonderful trip with a bunch of friends once to the Jersey Shore, and there was this amazing
Was
bar.
Snooki there?
No Snooki. I mean, there was a bar. If anyone goes to Asbury Park, New Jersey, there's a bar that has a dog park, and in the dog park there next to it, there's a bar. So you just sit there drinking cheap drinks in plastic cups while everybody's dogs are running around. You play with people's dogs, and they call it.
Oh my
yappy
god,
hour.
that sounds
They
like
call it
fucking
yappy
heaven.
hour. Yeah, so I sat at yappy hour and must have drank, I'm not even like 11 G&Ts, and just started calling it summer water. So to me, that's summer water.
We're
Drink
slurring
every
your
time.
words, obviously. The summer water.
No, I was
Sorry.
my liver was a lot tougher at that point. But
Oh, really?
I was a little bit more regular drinker. Yeah, I was talking about this the other day with those friends. They're like, I said some funny things. Somebody handed me their phone when they got a text message from somebody they didn't want to talk to, so that was a good adventure. But
Yeah,
Ooh.
those are always
yeah, if
good.
you ever get a message from somebody, and you
I'm
don't wanna
usually
talk
the
to
one
them-
sending the message, so you're talking.
We've all
to
been
me.
there. We've all been there. Yeah.
There's definitely been times in my life where I've passed my phone to somebody else to be like, respond to this person. I don't know.
Yeah,
what to
I've
say.
I've picked up Australian men to invite them to a house party for my friends. It's I was like, I want to find an Australian guy. I was like, well, give me your phone. I'll go on your Tinder. Let's go. Let's go. I had 45 minutes later, this Australian guy shows up. Pretty good. At it.
I passed. So my best friend is gay, and he was completely transfixed on my Tinder because he was like, I want to go on straight Tinder. I want to see what's there. And
Speaking
so
of Australian men.
yeah, and oh hey there. So
And that's
yeah,
how Vert's meant tank girl.
Oh my goodness. But I passed my phone to him, and he messaged so many people in the time that I gave him my phone. He had my phone for about 10 minutes, and he was just going through, and he was like,
So
I
I'm
found all
sorry.
the hot ones for you. I need you to talk to them.
For you.
Yeah.
For
He was like,
you,
"I'm
but he wanted you to talk to them. He just wanted to meet them in
I was-
person, or?
I think he just wanted to bring some straight men over to the house and just be like, look. And I was like, oh, well, I mean, good on you. In all honesty, I'm not interested,
Good
but
on
thank
me.
you.
Mhm.
I'll bring him over for Trench next time. He did say that he wants the weight of a man on top of him.
Yes, please. I need all shapes and sizes.
Of men to lay on you.
Yeah, it's a different night. Depends on a different weight. I don't know. It depends on my mood.
Yeah.
I could just get a weighted blanket. That might be the way to go.
I've heard about weighted blankets, and I really fucking want one.
People
my
have
brother has one,
recommended
it's
it
awesome.
to me so many times. They're like, you get anxious, get a weighted blanket. It's the best thing ever.
It's a good workout. If you're restless in the night, you
You get
wake up just
ripped.
sore. It's like 25 pounds laying on top of you. Yeah.
Just get
Want a-
fucking
want a
ripped
six-pack?
abs by rolling around the
Oh, yeah,
bed.
what's your workout? I've been sleeping 12 hours a day, man. I'm jacked.
I'm fucking stacked and jacked, bro.
Uh,
I still can't get over the fact that Tessara in a slash me
Oh,
said
B-fly.
stacked.
That was
about her
fucking
character.
hilarious.
I
Slash me
nearly
is
died.
stacked.
It's stacked. Well, I'm doing medical RP on her. I just
Wait,
I
on
fucking
Ripley?
just about done.
or who?
No,
no,
on
her new character, right?
Yeah, her new
I don't know.
character has like crazy muscles,
Oh, yeah?
and
Nice.
I
He's
was
stacked.
doing and I was doing mid RP, and I was like, no, do they need stitches? And they're like, no, they survived as stacked, and I just about died. It was
I've seen
so
some
fucking
funny
good.
slash me's on the server for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen a couple.
There's been a lot. I remember when the slash me no pulp was a really big
No
one.
pulp. Yeah, that was your
No pulp.
famous one, right?
Yeah, where I did a slash me no pulse, but I wrote no pulp instead.
When you were
And-
permaing your character?
I don't remember the exact context of it, but it
typoed?
was
Oops.
I typoed slash me no pulp, and then that became like a running joke.
Kind of like
between
emotional
lots and lots of
beatboxing.
people. Yeah, like emotional beatboxing, because my father decides to come in and slam the drum set behind my door.
When
And it's
your
just like,
character's crying.
and my
Best.
characters are crying or in the middle of like an interrogation or there's just something very intense going on. It's never while I'm just doing my own thing and just on my own or riding around. It's always when I'm right in the fucking middle of something.
Right. Makes sense.
It's very unfortunate. So then I have to be like, I'm sorry, I'm emotional beatboxing in between, stanzas of my father's drumming. And then just run out of the room or try and find a way to fucking escape from RP.
I'm trying to deal with my friend dying and my dad's paradiddling behind me. That's a drumming thing.
Paradiddling?
Paradiddle. That's a drum term.
That is
It
such
sounds
a fucking good term.
It sounds like you should be arrested if you paradiddle. I don't know.
A paradiddle.
Hey, that's what you got 2 hands for. A pair. There you go.
I feel like me and Bees both thought you were trying to be dirty there, but I think he was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he was. All
there
right.
you go. Yeah, absolutely.
A pair of diddles. Okay, I get it.
Thank you.
The famous Verts is in chat. Verts, tell us something, anything, please. Actually,
Way to go.
we could do
Oh,
Nia
shit.
Drool. This is a smooth segue. We could do Nia Drool's question. Verts, would you eat human flesh?
Oh my god.
If it was a scientific experiment to see how human flesh tastes and you would not be judged socially by it.
I need more coffee.
Do you really need more coffee?
This is water. It's fine.
Oh, sick. That's the best kind of coffee. I just have no interest in the taste of a human body.
No, me neither.
Okay, but what if it's really good?
But what if
That's
humans
something
taste
the other
like
thing.
cheesecake?
What if it tastes really good?
Yeah, then you got a problem. Then you'd be
If-
like, I don't want to do this, but man, oh man.
If we discovered like a lost tribe of humans on an island somewhere that tastes like cheesecake, they'd be gone in 10 years, right?
No,
Thank
I'm
you.
normal.
No, I'm normal. Thank you. It's just Nia alone on her island, eating people.
Yeah, Nia Drools wants to taste human flesh apparently, but only if there's no consequences.
Yeah, what was the exact terminology? You're in a room and it's for science
Yeah.
and there's no judgment.
It's yeah.
And they're like, we
They
have a
present
body.
you with a plate
They
of
present
meat.
you with a plate of meat.
And they go, eat it. And you know that it's human meat. And they're like,
Yeah,
"Eat
the
it."
answer is no. Nobody's doing this, and if they want to, they're not admitting to it in public.
Except
Unless
for
you're
Nia.
Nia.
Unless your name is Nia.
I just love the
I
fact that
bite is
Nia's
right.
just been so caught on it and is still
I bite
going on
is also
about it.
very
It's my
right.
favorite.
Nia has such an incredible range of voices. It's ridiculous.
She really does. You know
And
who
she's
else
getting a new
has-
microphone soon. Rumor has it.
Good. I love Ed.
Oh, hell yeah.
I
I think that there are so many people on the server who have a range of voices. Somebody who's fucking incredible with their range of voices is Seda Queen. Just unreal.
she
Oh my god,
RP's
she's
Conan too.
ridiculous.
What's that?
She roleplays in Conan too. I've run into her before.
Oh shit. Didn't know that. Yeah, dude, she does some fucking incredible voices. I have heard her like mimic some character voices and it's almost indistinguishable.
I don't.
Really?
I could get her to be Herbie. I don't need to do it anymore. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
She just talks like this so easily.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's fucking incredible. I wish that I had the vocal talent to be able to do that. Like
Same.
it takes me forever to be able to like just learn an accent, let alone
Yeah.
do anything. Like, and even then, like my accents aren't that fucking good. I frequently, when I would play Esme and I'd stream it, would get people in being like, "That's your southern accent. That's so cute."
No, I think your southern accent is good on Esme.
It's better now, but when I first started,
Alright.
it was definitely it was
It takes
something. It
time.
was
I
not
think
good.
I think that's normal. Like my Scottish accent isn't great, but it's certainly a lot better than it used to be.
Yeah, well, I mean, everything with practice, right? Like you know, coming up with like going back all the way back to this, coming up with voices for characters is fucking hard.
Yeah.
Especially because I never want any of my characters to sound the same. You know?
Mm-hmm. No, yeah,
always,
same.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like I always want them to sound different to each other.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Which is hard. Which is why I don't want to come up with I feel like I'm tapped out. Like I could come up with more characters, but the voice, I'm not sure how many more different voices I have in me. I've got like 6 or 7 characters. I don't know if I can do any more. Maybe.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I know when I started streaming again and I was Oglethorpe, there was a lot of that's your voice. Ugh, a lot of disappointment when I heard my actual voice. And I wasn't actually talking like this. Like, oh.
I've gotten that before too.
I've
gotten daddies. In chat.
I still think yes. I still think the greatest voice achievement I have is Nora, and people legitimately thought I was a man.
It's really good.
I was a man role playing a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people thought I was a man role playing a woman.
It's that kind of voice, like Buttersworth or Steele's Sheila, and that kind of Dr. Girlfriend voice. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling. Like something like that. Hello.
It's so scratchy. It's so good.
Yeah, 500 cigarettes a day. Every single time. And nothing but whiskey. That's my diet.
You thought it was Johnny Blams playing Nora?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Because they had the Swampy Bottom Sisters, right, Driver? Something like that. And they were a bunch of old women who were like crime lords, which was fucking genius. Yeah. He does the female voice. Yeah. There are a lot of guys on the server who do really good like female voices.
Not me. I can't do it.
I have tried desperately to try and make my voice sound more masculine so I can play male characters, and I've just come to the realization that that's not a possibility.
Aren't you making
Tui's good? Tui's good.
Tui's good.
Tui, who's amazing.
Yeah.
You sound like Quark.
Korg? Yeah,
Korg, sorry, not Quark.
Oh, yeah,
that's a
Quark
different
from Deep Space Nine.
Deep Space Nine reference.
Gold press Latinum.
Sorry, not Quark.
No,
Korg.
not Korg. Korg. Yeah. That's been my kind of
She doesn't know
thing.
what we're talking about, by the way, Trench, at all.
No, I don't.
That's fine.
No clue.
I don't give
I'm not a nerd. I'm a nerd
She's
in
not-
some aspects,
yeah.
but I'm not a nerd.
Which is
I wish
another
I
segment
was.
we're gonna add.
Oh yeah.
We had Bees came up with all these incredible ideas. I'm super excited for. And
He's
I've
gonna
come
quiz
up with
me on my
nothing.
nerd knowledge.
Yeah, I'm gonna press
Yeah,
on
I
our
have,
nerd knowledge. It's gonna be fun.
I played a lady character, but my voice went very high to do it. I would get tired, and then it would get lower and lower.
I mean,
Yeah,
fair.
that's what
Doing a
I'm
female
doing.
voice is tiring.
To squeeze. I just have to squeeze my thighs together in the right way. My voice goes up.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Squeeze what?
My thighs in the right way. Squeeze them together.
Mm.
And all of a sudden, your voice goes up. It's a technique I learned.
Sounds painful. I don't.
It is
do that.
extremely, but
Gotta
you
make
got
sacrifices.
15 people watching. You gotta make sacrifices.
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Like my entire streaming career. But all right. Making a sacrifice for 15 people.
I mean,
Hell yeah, that was until
Make it
recently.
work.
Anytime I stream, yeah.
oh goodness.
Bees!
Thanks. All right. Do we think we're about ready to wrap up?
Yeah, we're about ready to
Nearly
wrap up.
3 hours.
Getting late. All right, guys. I think we'll wrap up here. Here's the thing. Guess what? You enjoyed yourself, of course. We're doing this again next week on Saturday at 11 p.m.
Hell yeah.
Pacific. Our next guest is not Trench, and I know you're all sad about that because he's our guest this week.
I thought, okay, well, that's fine. I won't be tuning in.
Wow.
If it's not about, I know I'll be in chat.
Wow.
disrupting. I'll be in
Listen,
talking about
we'll
the
give
white
you
women
your
at
own
Target.
segment. We'll give you your own
That's
segment of the
fine.
podcast.
You were a very
Alright.
important part of
I
our
think I
first
can
episode.
handle. I think I can handle it. Oh my god, I don't know. I was on.
You were having a
You
time.
were on. Yeah.
I was
You were
on.
having a
Crowd
time.
fucking loved you, man.
I was on.
But our guest next week is gonna be Kano, who is one of the admins on Wild
I
RP.
believe it's pronounced Kano.
Yeah. You're getting
Stop!
strangled right now. So next Saturday at 11 p.m. Pacific, right here, the next episode with our new name,
Zug and the Bug.
Thug in the Bug. So thank you guys so much for your support. As of course, all your donations will go from tonight will go towards be getting a new mic and art for the podcast. So we will see you guys in a week, and everybody just have a great night. Probably should go to sleep. It's fucking late.
Sorry, I don't look like an ant still.
Bye, everyone. Hmm.